They say the final thought of the day is the first foundation of the morrow. But what if it is more than that? What if that final, quiet moment, when the world has faded and you are left alone with the rhythm of your own breathing, is not an end, but a sacred doorway? What if the space between wakefulness and sleep is not a void to fall into, but a portal to consciously walk through? You have felt it, haven't you? That subtle hum beneath the exhaustion. A quiet call, a deep yearning for something more than just rest. A desire for a peace that doesn't just silence the noise, but heals the source of it. You have finished your day. The roles have been played, the tasks have been done, the world has taken its portion of your energy. And now, this time is for you. This time is not for scrolling through the lives of others or replaying conversations filled with regret. It is not for planning tomorrow's battles. This time is a sanctuary. Tonight, we will not fall into sleep. We will enter it. We will treat this passage not as an unconscious habit, but as the most profound and potent ritual of your day. This is a journey into the quiet center of your being, a deliberate and loving act of connecting with the divine intelligence that resides within you and all around you. It is a dialogue with the universe, held in the sacred language of silence, feeling, and intention. Here, in this quiet space we are creating together, you are not just a body seeking rest. You are a creator standing at the threshold of possibility. The thoughts you think here, the feelings you cultivate, are not idle dreams. They are seeds. They are instructions. They are the raw material from which your subconscious mind, the faithful architect of your reality, will build your tomorrow. So breathe. Let the day fall away. You are standing at a gateway. And together, we are going to learn how to walk through it, to connect with that infinite part of yourself, and to transform the simple act of sleeping into an intentional pilgrimage back to the source. The world asks for everything, and you give it. You give your focus, your energy, your patience, your time. From the moment your eyes open, you are in a state of offering, a constant outward flow. The noise of the world becomes your inner soundtrack. The deadlines of others become the rhythm of your heart. The dramas of the collective become the weather in your own mind. And so you arrive here, at the edge of the day, not as a whole and sovereign being, but as a collection of echoes, a shoreline where the crashing waves of the world have left their debris. You are tired, but it is a unique kind of fatigue. It is not the simple, clean tiredness of a body that has worked hard. It is a soul fatigue, a spiritual exhaustion from holding too much, from being too many things for too many people. And so, the first step in this sacred communion is not an action, but a cessation. It is not something you do, but something you cease to do. This is the sacred pause. It is the most radical, most defiant, most loving act you can perform for yourself right now. It is a conscious, deliberate drawing of a line in the sand of time. On that side lies the day that was, with all its noise and demands. On this side lies you, the real you, the silent, observing, infinite you that exists beneath the roles you play. To begin, you must declare this space holy. Your intention is the consecrating force. Find the device in your hand, the one that has served as your window and your chain to the world all day. Look at it for a moment. Acknowledge its role. It has connected you, informed you, perhaps even entertained you, but its time is over. Now, with a clear and deliberate motion, turn it off. Do not just put it to sleep. Turn it off completely. Let its screen go dark. This is not a punishment. It is a liberation. It is a powerful symbolic act. You are saying, the world can wait. My connection to the infinite cannot. Find the remote control for the television. Press the button. Watch the artificial light and sound collapse into a single point of silence. Walk to the light switch on the wall. Place your hand upon it. Feel the cool, solid plastic beneath your fingers. Before you press it, Take a single deep breath, and as you exhale, press the switch. Plunge the room into a soft, gentle darkness, perhaps lit only by a small lamp, a candle, or the ambient glow from outside your window. You have just taken back the light. You have taken back the sound. You have taken back the space. This room is no longer just a room. It is now a temple. It is an altar. And you are the sole deity to be worshipped here. Think of a great conductor standing before a vast orchestra. The musicians are ready, instruments poised. The audience is a sea of expectant faces, but the conductor does not immediately launch into the music. He raises his baton, and in that moment, a profound silence descends. It is not an empty silence. It is a silence pregnant with possibility. It is a space of pure potential, where all the notes that have ever been played and all the notes that are yet to be born hang in perfect, suspended balance. The sacred pause is you, raising your baton. You are the conductor of your own inner orchestra. The musicians are your thoughts, your emotions, your memories, your worries. For the entire day, they have been playing a chaotic, unrehearsed cacophony, each section playing its own tune, competing for attention, the strings of anxiety sawing away, the brass section of anger blaring, the woodwinds of wistful memory playing a sad, forgotten melody. And you, the conductor, have been running around, trying to manage it all, feeling overwhelmed, lost in the noise. But now, you raise the baton. You do not try to silence each instrument individually. You do not scold the violins or quiet the trumpets. You simply stand, in your power, and you signal the pause. You signal that a new piece is about to begin. A new kind of music, the music of silence, the symphony of the soul. Breathe into this new quiet. Feel it on your skin. It is different from the silence of an empty house. It is a silence you have actively created. You have earned it. It is a rich, velvety texture. Allow your body to recognize the shift. Your shoulders, which have been held up near your ears in a state of readiness, can now begin to drop. The muscles in your jaw, which have been clenched from unspoken words and gritted teeth tolerance, can now go slack. The shallow, rapid breathing that fuels the fight or flight response can now deepen, slowing down into the gentle, rhythmic tide of peace. This pause is a statement of sovereignty. It says, I am the ruler of this inner kingdom. I decide what enters and what leaves. I decide when the noise stops and when the listening begins. For so much of the day you are reactive. A notification pings and you react. An email arrives and you react. A person's mood shifts and you react. The sacred pause is the end of reaction. It is the beginning of pure being. You are not waiting for the next thing. You are not recovering from the last thing. You are simply here, present, complete. In this moment, nothing is asked of you. You do not need to be productive. You do not need to be insightful. You do not need to be spiritual. You only need to sit within the temple you have created and allow the dust to settle. Every great journey begins with a single step, but every sacred journey begins with a moment of absolute stillness. This is that moment. This is the breath before the prayer, the silence before the sacred name is spoken. You have closed the door to the outer world, not to hide, but to open a much more important door, the door to within. This pause is the key, turning gently in the lock. In the hallowed quiet you have crafted, the world outside has ceased its shouting. Now, the inner world can begin to speak. But before we can hear its truest whispers, we must first remove the garments we have worn all day. Not the clothes of fabric and thread, but the armor of survival. Every day, you step onto a battlefield. It may be an office, a home, a city street. And to navigate it, you don your armor. You do it so automatically, so skillfully, that you may not even notice its weight anymore. It has become a second skin, but your soul feels its crushing pressure. Your spirit feels its cold metallic touch. And here, in the sanctuary of the sacred pause, it is time to disrobe. It is time to release the armor, piece by heavy piece. Imagine yourself as a knight, a warrior, returning to your private chamber after a long and arduous campaign. The battle is over for today. You are safe within these walls. Let us begin with the helmet. This is the helmet of overthinking, of constant analysis, of relentless planning. It is the part of you that has been strategizing, calculating, and worrying since the moment you awoke. It has replayed past conversations and pre-played future ones. It has judged, criticized, and defended. It is heavy, forged from the metal of mental strain. Feel its weight on your head, the pressure on your temples, the way it has narrowed your vision to only see problems and threats. Now, with a slow, deliberate intention, reach up your hands. You are not ripping it off in anger. You are unbuckling it with reverence. Thank this helmet. It tried to protect you. It tried to keep you 5 steps ahead of danger. But its work is done. Feel the leather straps loosen. Hear the soft click as the clasps release. Lift it slowly, carefully, from your head. And as you do, feel a wave of release wash over your scalp, your forehead, your eyes. An expansion, a quietness in the command center of your mind. The ceaseless strategist can finally rest. Place the helmet gently on the floor beside you. It is no longer your burden to carry. Your mind is no longer a weapon of war. It can now become an instrument of peace. Now, bring your awareness to your throat and neck. Here you wear the gorget, the throat guard. This piece is forged from all the words you did not say, the truths you swallowed to keep the peace, the boundaries you did not set, the no that became a strained and resentful yes. It is the armor of unspoken feelings, and it is suffocating. You can feel its constriction, a tightness in your throat, a stiffness in your neck. All day, it has protected you from the perceived conflict of absolute honesty. It has been your diplomat, but it has done so at the cost of your own voice. Breathe into that space, and as you exhale, imagine the buckles of this gorget dissolving into light. Feel the armor simply fall away, melting into nothingness. A coolness and an openness come into your throat. You can swallow with ease. You can breathe more deeply. The stagnant energy of suppression is released, and your authentic voice, even in its silence, is honored. You are safe to be truthful here. There is no one to please, no one to appease, only you. Let your attention drift down to your shoulders. Here rests the heaviest burden of all, the pauldrons, the great shoulder plates. These are forged from the weight of responsibility, both real and imagined. One pauldron is the weight of your own duties, your work, your family, your goals. The other is the weight of everyone else's problems, the burdens you have absorbed from others out of empathy or a misguided sense of duty. Feel them pressing down, pushing your shoulders toward the earth, creating knots of tension deep within the muscle. This is the armor of the rescuer, the provider, the one who carries the world. It is noble, but it is exhausting. Thank these shoulder plates for the strength they gave you, for the loads they helped you bear. But recognize that in this sacred space, you are not required to carry anything. With your intention, feel the immense weight simply lift. Imagine the straps turning to smoke. The heavy plates become lighter than air, floating up and away, disappearing into the quiet darkness. And your shoulders, freed from their monumental load, can finally drop. Feel the release of a burden you have carried for so long you forgot you could ever set it down. You are not your responsibilities. You are the being who attends to them, and that being deserves to rest. Now, to the center of your being, your chest. Here you wear the breastplate, gleaming and hard, forged to protect your heart. It is the armor against disappointment, against betrayal, against the vulnerability of truly being seen. Every time you were hurt and decided to be strong, you added another layer to this plate. Every time you hid your true feelings to avoid judgment, you polished it to a higher shine. It has guarded your heart, yes, but it has also imprisoned it. It has kept pain out, but it has also kept love, joy, and true connection from flowing freely. This is the most difficult piece to remove. It feels like you. It feels essential for survival. But not here, not now. Place a hand over your heart, over this cold, invisible metal. Your warm hand is a symbol of self-love, of acceptance. Breathe into your hand, sending warmth and golden light through your skin into the breastplate itself. You do not need to pry it off. You simply need to melt it with warmth. Feel the hard edges soften. Feel the rigid metal become pliable, then liquid, then a soft, warm mist that evaporates into the air. And for the first time today, your heart is exposed. Not to danger, but to your own loving awareness. It can beat in an open space. It can breathe. Feel the expansion in your chest. The armor is gone. Your heart is safe. It is home. You are unarmored, naked in your own sanctuary. The weight is gone. The constriction has ceased. The crushing responsibility has been laid aside. You are not the warrior. You are not the strategist. You are not the diplomat or the provider. You are the consciousness that lies beneath. You are tender. You are open. You are present. This state of gentle vulnerability is not weakness. It is the highest form of strength. It is the prerequisite for true connection. From this open and unburdened state, we can begin to look back at the day not as a battle we have survived, but as something far more profound. Sit in this lightness. Feel the air on your skin. Notice the quiet rhythm of your own heart, now beating in a space of freedom. You have released the armor. You have come home to yourself. Now, in this state of tender openness, with the weight of your armor laid carefully aside, you are free, you are light. From this new vantage point, let us look upon the day that has passed. But we will not look at it as a field of battle to be reviewed, nor as a ledger of successes and failures to be tallied. We will see it for what it truly is, a river that has already flowed by. Imagine yourself, right now, sitting on the soft, mossy bank of a gently flowing river. The ground beneath you is solid, stable, and still. You can feel the cool, firm earth supporting you completely. This is the seat of the witness, the silent, loving awareness that is your true nature. Before you, the river of the day moves with an unhurried, relentless grace. Its waters are the hours and minutes that have carried your life from dawn until this very moment. Your only task in this sacred time is to watch it flow. You are not to jump in. You are not to cast a net. You are not to build a dam. You are simply to sit and to watch. Let your gaze fall upon the water. The river begins at the moment you awoke this morning. See that first moment float by. Perhaps it was a jolt of alarm, a dark, sudden splash in the current. Perhaps it was a slow, gentle stirring, a sunbeam catching the water's surface. Do not judge it. Do not wish it were different. Simply see it as it was, a piece of driftwood on the current, and let it pass. Watch the morning routine unfold. The hurried breakfast, a swirl of scattered leaves. The journey to work, a steady, purposeful current. See the faces of the people you encountered. They float by like stones of different shapes and colors, momentarily disturbing the surface before sinking back into the whole. See the conversations, not as words to be analyzed, but as patterns on the water. Some are smooth, concentric ripples. Others are choppy, conflicting waves. You do not need to understand their meaning now. You only need to acknowledge their passing. Let them go. They are downstream now. As you sit here, safe and still on the riverbank, you may feel an old impulse arise. The impulse to reach into the water. You see a moment of joy float by, a kind word from a stranger, a moment of laughter, a task completed successfully. It looks like a beautiful, brightly colored flower on the surface, and your mind wants to snatch it, to hold it, to possess it forever. But do not. Let the flower float by. Appreciate its beauty as it passes, smile at its memory, and release it to the river. To cling to pleasure is to create the fear of its absence. In this practice, we let it all go. Then you see something else, a gnarled, dark branch, heavy and menacing. It is a moment of conflict, a mistake you made, a harsh word you received. Your mind recoils. It wants to push the branch away, to break it into pieces, to pretend it never existed. But do not. Let the dark branch float by. Observe its shape, its texture, its weight in the water. It is a part of the river. It is not the whole river. By allowing it to pass without resistance, you rob it of its power to snag on your soul. You see it, you acknowledge it, and you let it continue on its journey downstream, away from you, dissolving back into the immensity of time. This is the practice of radical acceptance. You are watching your own life as a silent movie, without commentary, without a soundtrack of approval or condemnation. See the image of yourself typing at a computer. See the image of yourself washing the dishes. See the image of yourself feeling bored or frustrated or inspired. These are just forms, just shapes, just moments in the current. You are not the anger that flashed through you. You were the river through which the current of anger flowed. You are not the anxiety about the future. You were the riverbed that felt the turbulent waters of fear pass over it. You are the river itself, in its entirety. But you are also the silent watcher on the bank, who is greater than any single moment, any single current. This perspective changes everything. The day is no longer a story of I did this right and I did this wrong. It is simply a flow, a process, an energetic signature that has passed. Breathe as you watch. Let your breath be the anchor that keeps you firmly on this bank. When you feel the pull to jump into the water, to become entangled again in the story of the day, simply return your focus to the feeling of the solid ground beneath you, to the gentle rise and fall of your own chest. You are here. The river is there. You are safe. You are the sky, watching the clouds of your experience drift by. You are not the clouds. Notice the moments of quiet, the spaces between the events, the lulls in the current. These are parts of the river too. The drive home in silence, the moment you stared out of a window, thinking of nothing, the pause before you spoke. These quiet stretches are just as important as the noisy ones. Honor them. Watch them float by with the same impartial gaze. See how they create space and texture in the tapestry of your day. As the river of your day flows towards its end, as the waters begin to slow and darken into the twilight of this present moment, notice something new. Most of the debris has floated by. The leaves, the flowers, the smaller branches are far downstream now. But some things remain. Some heavier objects have snagged on the riverbed, just beneath the surface. You can't always see them clearly, but you can see their effect. They create eddies, little whirlpools of persistent energy. The water churns around them. These are the feelings that were not fully felt, the goodbyes that were not fully said, the moments of impact whose resonance still vibrates within you. They are the shadows we spoke of earlier. They are the parts of your day, the parts of you that do not simply float by. They ask for more than passive observation. They are calling for your presence. They are calling for a voice. Look at them now, these disturbances in the calm water, without fear. They are not monsters in the deep. They are simply parts of your experience, asking to be known. And in our next step, we will turn to face them, and we will give them the gift they have been waiting for. From the still, safe bank of your awareness, your gaze has settled on the turbulent places in the river, the snags, the eddies, the parts of your day that did not flow by with ease. These are the shadows. They are the undigested emotions, the energetic knots that linger in your system, calling for your attention. The common human impulse is to turn away from them. We fear that if we look at them, truly look, they will consume us. We believe their darkness will extinguish our light, and so we suppress, we distract, we numb. We throw a blanket over the churning water and pretend the river is calm, but the churning only grows stronger in the dark. Tonight, we will do something different. We will do something brave and profoundly healing. We will not turn away, we will turn towards. We will give voice to the shadows. Imagine that within the temple of your heart, there is a room you rarely enter. It is a room you have kept locked for a very long time. This is the room where you have sent the feelings you deemed unacceptable, inconvenient, or overwhelming. Now, in your mind's eye, see yourself standing before the door to this room. You hold in your hand not a floodlight, not a weapon, but a single, small candle. Its flame is gentle, warm, and unwavering. This is the flame of your compassionate awareness. Take a deep breath, and with love, not fear, turn the key and open the door. The room is dark, yes, but it is not empty. As your eyes adjust to the soft candlelight, you begin to see small figures in the shadows. These are the forgotten children of your psyche. They are the personified energies of your unfelt emotions. And you, the loving parent, have come home. You have come not to scold or banish them, but to listen. Your light first falls upon a small child, huddled in the farthest corner, shivering. Its eyes are wide, and it is trembling from head to toe. This child is fear. It has been with you all day, whispering of what could go wrong, painting catastrophic futures, reminding you of past failures. Its voice is the tight knot in your stomach, the cold sweat on your skin. Do not rush towards it. Do not tell it. Don't be scared. Its fear is real to it. Instead, approach slowly and kneel down so you are at its level. Extend the candle so its soft light can warm the child's face. Look into its wide eyes with nothing but kindness. You don't need to speak aloud. You simply offer it a telepathic invitation. I see you. I am here now. What are you trying to tell me? And then, you listen. Listen with your whole being. Perhaps you will hear words, what if I fail? What if they leave me? What if I am not safe? Or perhaps you will just feel its terror, a raw, primal vibration. Let the feeling be there. Do not fix it. Simply witness it. And when it has shown you its heart, you offer it the one thing it needs, validation. You say to it silently, "Thank you. I hear your fear. I understand you are trying to protect me. I see how hard you have been working to keep me safe. For now, I am here with you. We are safe in this room, together. You can rest now. Watch as the child's trembling begins to subside, not because the fear is gone, but because it is no longer alone in the darkness. As the child of fear finds some peace, your candlelight illuminates another figure. This one is not shivering. Its face is red, its small fists are clenched, and it is radiating a heat you can feel across the room. This child is anger. It is the energy that surged when your boundaries were crossed, when you felt disrespected, when things felt deeply unfair. It is the fire of injustice, the roar of a soul that feels unheard. The impulse is to silence it, to tell it to calm down, that its rage is destructive. Do not do this. Its fire holds a sacred truth. Kneel before this child as well. Meet its fiery gaze with a calm, steady compassion. Let your candle flame dance with its inner fire. Ask it, what is it you need me to know? Where did we feel powerless? Where was our truth denied? And then listen to its story. The story of being overlooked, of being wronged, of a deep and passionate no that was never spoken. Feel the heat of it, the raw power. This energy is not your enemy. It is a signpost to where your soul needs to be defended. And so you say to this furious child, I see you, I feel your fire. Thank you for showing me so clearly where my boundaries are. Thank you for your fierce energy, which wants to protect my worth. I will learn to listen to you sooner. I will honor your fire. For now, you do not need to fight. You can rest. Feel the clenched fists begin to loosen. Feel the intense heat soften into a warm, protective glow. The warrior child can lay down its sword. It has been seen by its king. And now, in another part of the room, you see a child sitting on the floor, its face buried in its hands. You can hear the sound of quiet, inconsolable sobs. This is sadness. This is grief. It is the weight in your chest you felt when you remembered a loss, when you experienced a disappointment, or when you felt a pang of loneliness. It is the deep, aching heart of your humanity. Our world tells us to cheer up, to look on the bright side, but that is a profound disrespect to the heart. Sadness is the measure of our love. We grieve because we value. Sit beside this weeping child. You do not need to say anything at all. Perhaps you just place a gentle, loving hand on its back. You let your candlelight be a silent companion to its tears. If you ask it anything, it is simply, "What have we lost? What do we miss?" And you allow the answer to wash through you. The lost opportunity, the forgotten dream, the absence of a loved one. You let the tears flow if they need to. Tears are not a weakness, they are a sacred release. They are the river, cleansing the soul. And you say to this child, "It is okay to be sad. Your tears are holy. They are watering the ground of my heart. Thank you for showing me what I cherish so deeply. I will sit here with you as long as you need. You are not alone in your sorrow." And the child, feeling your presence, slowly begins to feel the possibility of peace, even within its pain. Finally, you have given every shadow a voice. The room is no longer dark and terrifying. It is illuminated by the gentle, compassionate glow of your own awareness. The children are not gone, but they are no longer lost, forgotten, or monstrous. They are simply parts of you, each with a sacred role. They have been integrated. They have come home. The churning eddies in the river have calmed. The water flows with a newfound clarity. The ground of your being, once cluttered with the suppressed energy of these shadows, is now cleared. It is open. It is fertile. And now that the discord has been met with loving silence, it is ready for a new kind of music. It is ready to be filled with an energy that heals, transforms, and creates. It is ready for the alchemy of gratitude. The room within your heart is now quiet. The small children of your emotions, fear, anger, sadness are no longer raging or weeping in the darkness. They have been seen, they have been heard, and they are now resting peacefully in the soft, steady glow of your loving awareness. The ground of your being has been swept clean. The turbulent waters have been calmed. This inner space, once a place of turmoil, is now a place of profound and sacred potential. It is like a garden, freshly tilled, cleared of weeds and stones, its dark soil rich and fertile, waiting. Now, the work of clearing is done. A new work begins. We cease to be the weeder, and we become the gardener. For a garden is not defined by the absence of weeds, but by the presence of flowers. And the water for these flowers, the sunlight that coaxes them to open, is the transformative power of gratitude. Do not mistake this for a simple shift to positive thinking. We are not papering over the cracks. We are not denying the existence of the shadows you so bravely faced. That was holy work. But now, we perform a different kind of holy work. We engage in a sacred alchemy. The ancient alchemists sought to turn lead into gold. They knew that the secret was not to destroy the lead, but to change its essential nature through a mystical process. Gratitude is the philosopher's stone of the soul. It takes the dense, heavy energy of all you have just processed the lead of your fears and sorrows, and it transmutes it into the radiant, weightless gold of peace and abundance. It is a change, not of circumstance, but of frequency. You are about to consciously, deliberately change the vibrational signature of your entire being. Let us begin by planting the first seed. Let it be something simple, something undeniable. Bring your awareness to your own body, lying here, in this moment. Bring your attention to your breath. Without any effort from you, your body breathes. Air, the very essence of life, flows into your lungs, nourishes every one of your trillions of cells, and flows out again. Feel it now. Feel the gentle rise of your chest or belly as you inhale. Feel the soft release as you exhale. Do not just think the words, "I am grateful for my breath." Go deeper. Feel a genuine sense of awe for this quiet, constant miracle. This breath has been with you every second of your life. It has been your faithful companion through joy and terror, through triumph and despair. It has never abandoned you. Let a wave of thankfulness wash over you for this simple, profound gift. The gift of life, expressed in this single, easy breath. Now, bring your awareness to your heartbeat. Place a hand on your chest if you wish. Feel that gentle, rhythmic thumping. That is the drumbeat of your existence. It is a song of pure life force, playing just for you. It asks for nothing. It simply gives. Feel gratitude for this heart, for its resilience, for its strength, for its unwavering commitment to keeping you here. Feel the warmth from your hands spreading into your chest, a warmth of pure appreciation. This is the first flower, blooming in the quiet garden of your heart. Now, let us find a second flower. This one is from the river of your day, but it is not a grand, dramatic event. It is a small moment of grace you might have overlooked. Scan back through the waters of your day, which you observed so clearly. Look for a tiny, shimmering jewel. Perhaps it was the taste of your first sip of coffee or tea this morning, the way the warmth spread through you. Recreate that sensation now. Perhaps it was a genuine smile you received from a stranger, a fleeting moment of unspoken human connection. See their face. Feel the warmth of that smile now. Perhaps it was the sight of the sun catching a leaf outside your window, turning it into a stained glass marvel for just a second. Perhaps it was a song you heard that lifted your spirits, or the comfort of a warm shower. Find one of these small, ordinary pearls. Hold it gently in your awareness. Do not analyze it. Enter it. Relive the feeling it gave you. That small spark of pleasure, of peace, of beauty. And now amplify it. Breathe into that spark and let it grow into a warm glow. Say a silent, heartfelt thank you for this specific moment. You are teaching your mind to find the gold, not just the lead. You are actively watering a flower of simple, everyday beauty. Feel its gentle fragrance. Fill the garden of your soul. This is the second bloom, a testament to the grace hidden within the ordinary. Let us seek the third, and perhaps most potent, flower. Turn your loving awareness, your candle flame, towards yourself. Acknowledge the journey you have just taken. Here, in this quiet time, you had the courage to create a sacred pause. You had the strength to remove your armor. You had the compassion to sit with the forgotten children in the darkness. This is not a small thing. This is the work of a spiritual warrior, and it deserves your own gratitude. Feel a sense of profound appreciation for your own resilience, for the part of you that keeps seeking, that keeps trying, that refuses to be completely submerged by the noise of the world. Be grateful for your own heart, which, despite all its scars, still knows how to feel. Be grateful for your own awareness, this silent, loving presence that is your eternal nature. You are thanking the gardener. You are honoring the very ground of your own being. Let this gratitude for yourself be a radiant golden sun rising in the center of your garden. Feel its light, its warmth, its unconditional acceptance for everything that you are. You are worthy of your own deepest thanks. This is the third, most magnificent bloom, the sunflower of the soul. Now, be still. The garden of your inner world is in bloom. It is filled with the fragrance of these 3 flowers, bathed in the golden light of the sun of self-love. Do not do anything. Simply be in this state. Feel the change. The dense, heavy feeling of the shadows has been replaced by a feeling of lightness, of warmth, of gentle expansion. It might feel like a soft hum in your chest, a golden light filling your body, a quiet, smiling peace. This feeling, this sensation, right here, this is everything. This is the alchemy. This is the prayer that is always answered. This is the frequency of love, of receiving, of wholeness. It is the vibration that communicates with the divine intelligence of the universe far more powerfully than any words. You have not denied the darkness. You have honored it, and then you have consciously, lovingly filled the space with light. You have chosen where to place your life-giving attention. You have become the master of your inner garden. And from this warm, peaceful, and grateful state, a new perception of self becomes possible. Bask for a moment longer in the warm, golden light of the gratitude you have cultivated. Feel its gentle, radiant peace permeating your entire being. From this elevated state, from this high, sunlit plateau, you can look down upon the landscape of your mind with a new perspective. You have journeyed through the day, you have sat with the shadows, you have cleared the ground of your heart. And through it all, one thing has remained constant: a silent watcher, a quiet presence. There was one who witnessed the river of the day. There was one who held the candle in the dark room. There is one who is now feeling this profound sense of gratitude. The most important question you can ever ask yourself is, who is this one? Who are you, really? For your entire life, you have likely believed that you are the voice in your head, the thinker, the constant narrator who analyzes, judges, plans, worries, remembers, and regrets. This voice is a relentless companion. It wakes with you in the morning, often with a list of anxieties before your feet even touch the floor. It comments on everything you do. It tells you what you should have said in a conversation hours ago. It spins fantasies of future triumphs and terrors. It compares you to others. It criticizes your body, your choices, your very being. It is a radio that is always playing, a movie that never ends, and you have been a captive audience member, believing you are the main character in this relentless drama. You believe its thoughts are your thoughts, its feelings are your feelings, its identity is your identity. When it is anxious, you say, "I am anxious." When it is sad, you say, "I am sad." You have fused your sense of self so completely with this stream of thinking that you cannot imagine an existence apart from it. This identification is the root of all human suffering, because the thinker, the egoic voice, is never satisfied. It lives in a perpetual state of lack. It is forever chasing the next moment, believing happiness lies in a future achievement, or dwelling in the past, believing happiness was lost in a past mistake. It cannot exist in the simple, profound peace of the present moment. It feeds on problems, on drama, on conflict. Without them, it feels it might cease to exist, and so it creates them, endlessly. It manufactures worry. It nurtures grievances. It builds an identity for you made of memories, labels, and stories. I am a successful person. I am a failure. I am an anxious person. I am a spiritual person. All of these are just stories, constructions of thought, as fragile and impermanent as a house of cards. And you have been living inside this fragile house, buffeted by every wind of circumstance, believing its collapse would be your own. But what if this is not true? What if you are not the voice in your head? What if you are not the thinker at all? Let us try a new metaphor. Imagine your mind and all of its contents as the sky. The thoughts that pass through your mind are the clouds. Look at them now. Some thoughts are like dark, heavy storm clouds. These are the thoughts of anger, of fear, of despair. They rumble with thunderous negativity, they flash with the lightning of anxiety, and they can pour down a rain of deep sorrow. When these clouds fill your mind, it seems like the entire sky is dark and stormy. You forget that the sun even exists. Other thoughts are like light, wispy cirrus clouds, barely there, a fleeting memory, a random idea, a snippet of a song. They drift by almost unnoticed, high and distant. Still, other thoughts are like big, puffy, white cumulus clouds on a summer's day. These are your daydreams, your fantasies, your plans. They can form into fantastic shapes, beautiful and inspiring, and it can be pleasant to watch them drift by. Now, here is the crucial insight. You are not the clouds. The clouds are phenomena. They are temporary. They are constantly changing, shifting, appearing from nothing and dissolving back into nothing. They are weather. They are not the essence of the sky. So who are you? You are the sky itself. You are the vast, open, boundless awareness in which all the clouds, all the thoughts appear. The sky is not affected by the clouds. A thunderstorm does not damage the sky. The darkest clouds do not stain the sky. The sky was perfectly pure and peaceful before the storm. It remains perfectly pure and peaceful during the storm, and it will be perfectly pure and peaceful after the storm has passed. The clouds are just temporary events happening within the sky. The sky itself is the space, the container, the silent witness. It does not cling to the beautiful white clouds, and it does not resist the dark storm clouds. It allows them all to be, and it allows them all to pass, because it knows, with a deep, silent knowing, that it is not them. Its own nature is one of peace, of stillness, of infinite, untouchable space. Can you feel this within you? This is not just a poetic idea. It is the deepest truth of your being. You, the real you, are this sky-like awareness. The voice in your head, the thinker, is just a succession of clouds. You have spent your life identified with the weather, believing you are the storm, believing you are the sunny day. But your true identity is the vast, unchanging space in which all weather happens. Let's experience this now. Right now, in this moment, become a sky watcher. Lie back in your consciousness and simply wait for the next thought to appear. Do not try to create a thought. Do not try to stop thoughts. Just be the silent observer, waiting. Sooner or later, a thought cloud will drift by. Perhaps it's, "What am I supposed to be doing?" or "This is working," or "I'm hungry." When it appears, do not jump on it. Do not follow it. Simply notice it. See it as a cloud. Label it gently. Thinking. And then let it go. Let it drift on by, across the vast inner sky of your awareness, and watch it dissolve. Then wait for the next one. This is the practice of disidentification. You are creating a space between the observer and the observed. You are no longer the thinker. You are the awareness behind the thinker. Watch another thought cloud. It might be a memory, an image from your day. Notice it, without judgment, without resistance. It is just a cloud. It is not you. Let it pass. And now, notice something else. In the moment after one thought dissolves and before the next one arises, there is a gap, a brief space of pure silence, pure stillness. This gap, this space between thoughts, is a direct glimpse of the cloudless sky. It is a taste of your true nature. It is pure awareness, pure presence. For most people, this gap is very brief, a split second, before the next thought rushes in to fill the void. But in this practice, we begin to notice it, to value it. This silent gap is the source of all true peace, all true intelligence. It is the portal to the formless, the divine. Let us continue this practice for a little longer. Sit back, be the sky. A thought about tomorrow appears. Notice it. It is a cloud, moving from east to west in your inner sky. Let it go. A feeling of doubt arises. It is another cloud, a different shape, a different color. Let it be there. It too will pass. You do not need to do anything about these clouds. Your only job is to be the sky, to provide the space for them to exist and to pass. Can you feel the sense of profound relief in this? You are being absolved of a great burden, the burden of managing your thoughts, the burden of believing every negative thought that arises, the burden of trying to cling to every positive thought. You don't have to do any of it. You are the space. You are the stillness. You are the silent, loving witness of it all. The thoughts are not personal. They are just impersonal, conditioned mental events, like weather patterns, arising and passing away in the vast, open space of consciousness. This realization is the beginning of true freedom. When you know yourself as the sky, you are no longer at the mercy of the weather. You can experience a storm of anger or fear, but you know that you, the sky, are untouched. You have a deep, abiding peace that is not dependent on the clouds being white and puffy. Your peace is the very nature of the sky itself. It is always there, underneath the noise, underneath the drama. It is your birthright. When you are identified with thought, you are a prisoner in the tiny, fragile house of cards of the ego. When you know yourself as the awareness in which thought happens, you are as vast, as free, and as indestructible as the sky. This is what it means to connect with the divine within. It is to recognize your own formless, timeless, conscious nature, and from this vast, silent, sky-like space, a new form of communication becomes possible. It is a communication that does not happen in words, or in thoughts, or in clouds. It happens in the deep, intelligent silence of the sky itself. You are the sky, vast, open, and inherently peaceful. For a lifetime, you have been conditioned to listen only to the clouds. You have paid rapt attention to the thunder of your anxious thoughts and the dreary drizzle of your sad memories. You have been mesmerized by the drama of the passing weather of your mind, believing it to be the only reality. But now, having recognized your true nature as the sky, a new possibility emerges. We can learn to listen not to the noise of the clouds, but to the deep, resonant substance of the sky itself. We can learn the language of silence. We have been taught to think of silence as an absence, a void, a mere lack of noise. But this is a profound misunderstanding. Silence is not empty. It is unimaginably full. It is the primordial substance of creation itself. It is the canvas upon which all sound, all thought, all of creation is painted. Without the silence of the canvas, there could be no art. Without the silence of the page, there could be no poetry. Silence is the womb of all that is. It is not a state to be endured until the noise begins again. It is a presence to be entered. It is a field of infinite intelligence to be communed with, and it has a language all its own. Think of your consciousness as a highly sensitive radio receiver. For most of your life, the dial has been stuck between stations, tuned only to loud, jarring static. This static is the voice of the ego, the incessant inner narrator. It's a chaotic jumble of worry, desire, commentary, and complaint. It's so loud and constant that you've come to believe this noise is all there is to hear. You've tried to make sense of the static, to find a melody within the chaos, but it has only brought you fatigue and confusion. Beyond the static are the loud, local stations. These are your conditioned thought patterns, your familiar emotional dramas. They broadcast the same programs every day: the story of my unhappiness, greatest hits of past regrets, endless forecasts of future disasters. You know these programs by heart. They are familiar, even comfortable in their misery. But far away, beyond the noise and the local chatter, there is another station. It broadcasts from the very heart of the cosmos. Its signal is infinitely powerful, yet incredibly subtle. It does not shout, it does not intrude, it simply is. This is the broadcast of the divine, of the universe, of the source of all things. Its language is silence. Its message is one of profound peace, boundless wisdom, and unconditional love. To hear it, you cannot turn the volume up. You must turn the static down. The spiritual journey is the art of patiently, gently, turning the dial of your awareness away from the noise and into the clear, quiet frequency where this divine broadcast can finally be received. Every moment you spend as the sky-like witness, every thought cloud you allow to pass without entanglement, you are turning that dial, moving away from the static and toward the sublime music of the spheres. So how does one listen to silence? You must let go of the very idea of listening for something, the effort of straining to hear, the expectation of a message. These are just more clouds, more static. The approach is one of complete and total surrender. You become interested not in what the silence might contain, but in the silence itself. Let your awareness sink into it. Feel its texture. Is it heavy or light? Is it cool or warm? Treat it as a vast, benevolent presence that is holding you. Imagine your awareness is a giant satellite dish, no longer aimed at a specific star, but tilted back, open to the entirety of the cosmos, receiving everything and nothing at all. Let the sounds of your room be a part of this silence. The hum of a distant appliance, the creak of the house settling. Do not label them. Do not resist them. Notice how they arise out of silence and how they fall back into silence. The silence is more fundamental than the sound. It was here before the sound, and it will be here after the sound is gone. It is the eternal backdrop. Now, apply this same principle to your thoughts. A thought arises out of the silence of your mind. It exists for a moment, and it dissolves back into the silence of your mind. Become more interested in the silence that is the source and the destination of the thought than in the thought itself. Rest in that silent, aware space. When you abide here, in this receptive stillness, the language of silence begins to speak. It does not speak in English or in any human tongue. Its vocabulary is one of knowing, of insight, of clarity. A problem you have been wrestling with for weeks, turning it over and over with the noisy, analytical mind, suddenly becomes clear. A solution appears, simple and elegant, not because you figured it out, but because in the silence you created the space for a higher intelligence to provide the answer. That is the language of silence. A deep, unshakable sense of peace might settle over you, a feeling that all is well, even if nothing in your external world has changed. This profound sense of okayness, this inner peace that surpasses all understanding, is a direct communication from the source. It is the universe whispering, "I am with you. Trust the process." That is the language of silence. You might feel a gentle, intuitive nudge, a quiet pull to go left instead of right, to make a call, to read a certain book. This guidance, which does not come with a list of logical reasons, is the whisper of your higher self, speaking to you on the frequency of quiet. That is the language of silence. You do not need to earn the right to hear this language. You do not need to be more worthy, more pure, or more spiritual. Your worthiness is inherent in your very existence. You are a part of the universe that is trying to communicate with itself. The only obstacle has ever been your own inner noise, your belief that you are the static rather than the one who holds the radio. By resting as the sky, by allowing the clouds to pass, by becoming fascinated with the silent spaces in between, you are simply remembering your native tongue. You are coming home to the conversation that has been waiting for you since the beginning of time. Rest here now. Be the silence. And listen, not with your ears, but with your entire being. Let it hold you. Let it heal you. Let it speak to you in its own profound, mysterious, and deeply peaceful way. You are resting in the vast, intelligent silence, the sky of your own awareness. You are learning its language, remembering your native tongue. And yet, as you abide in this sacred space, you may feel one last, deeply ingrained defense arise. It is a subtle but persistent whisper from the conditioned mind, the old voice of the ego. It asks, "But am I worthy of this? Have I earned this peace, this connection? Am I good enough for the universe to notice me?" This question, in all its various forms, is perhaps the single greatest barrier that keeps humanity feeling separate from its divine source. It is the lie that you must achieve, perform, or perfect yourself in order to earn the love and attention that is already yours by birthright. Tonight, we are not just going to challenge this lie, we are going to dissolve it completely in the light of truth. This notion of conditional worth is a human invention. It is a game taught to us from our first breath. As a child, you were worthy of praise when you were good and worthy of disapproval when you were bad. In school, your worth was measured in letters and numbers on a report card. At work, your value is tied to your productivity, your performance, your success. Even in many religious traditions, worthiness is something to be striven for, a prize to be won through piety, prayer, and the avoidance of sin. We have been trained, deeply and thoroughly, to see ourselves as empty vessels that must be filled with achievements, virtues, and the approval of others in order to have any value. The ego loves this game. In fact, it created the game. If your worth is inherent, unconditional, and absolute, the ego has no job. It becomes redundant. But if worthiness is a complex project, a mountain to be climbed, then the ego gets to be the project manager, the climbing guide, the relentless coach. It keeps itself employed by keeping you in a state of perpetual striving, forever comparing, measuring, and judging. It tells you, once you are more disciplined, more loving, more successful, then you will be worthy of peace. But then never comes. The goalposts are always moving. Now, let us abandon this human game and look to the wisdom of the cosmos, the wisdom of nature. Consider the sun. Does the sun have to try to be worthy of shining? Does it perform good deeds, meditate for an hour, or read the right books before it will allow its light and warmth to radiate into the solar system? The question is absurd. The sun shines because shining is its nature. It is the very definition of what it is. It radiates unconditionally upon the saint and the sinner, the flower and the stone, the palace and the slum. It does not withhold its essence based on the perceived worthiness of what it shines upon. Its being is its value. Its shining is its purpose. Now, feel this truth. You, in your essence, as a unique expression of this universe, are the same. Your nature is not to become worthy. Your nature is worthiness. Your existence is its own unimpeachable validation. Look at the rose. It does not struggle to earn its fragrance. It does not question whether it deserves to be beautiful. It simply opens its petals and releases its scent into the world because that is its nature. Look at the mountain. It does not need to justify its majesty. It simply stands, solid and silent, its peak in the clouds, its presence a testament to its own inherent power and dignity. You are no different. The life force that animates you, the consciousness that is looking through your eyes right now, is the same intelligence that blossoms the rose and holds the mountain to the earth. Why would it make everything else in the universe unconditionally worthy and make you the sole exception? The idea is a product of human arrogance, of the ego's need to feel separate and special, even in its own perceived unworthiness. Let go of the idea that you are a supplicant, begging for an audience with a distant and judgmental God or universe. This is a false and painful hierarchy. Imagine you are the ocean. Would you look at one of your own waves and demand that it prove its worthiness before you allow it to be a part of you? The wave is the ocean, expressing itself for a moment in a unique form. You are a wave on the ocean of cosmic consciousness. The fact that you exist at all means the ocean has already deemed you worthy of existence. You are not a flaw in the system. You are a deliberate and desired feature of it. Your unique blend of light and shadow, your strengths and your perceived flaws, are all part of the texture that the universe wanted to experience. Let's make this feeling tangible. Bring your awareness into your body. Feel the life pulsing in your hands, a quiet, tingling energy. That is divine life, flowing through you without condition. Feel your heart, beating its faithful rhythm. It does not ask if you were good enough today before it performs its next beat. It beats because its nature is to beat, to sustain the life that you are. This ever-present life within you is the seal of your worthiness. It is the universe's unconditional yes to you. Now, let's perform a small ceremony of release. In your mind, gather up all the evidence the ego uses in its courtroom of worthiness. Gather your diplomas and your failures, your moments of kindness and your moments of anger, your successes and your rejections, your bank balance and your regrets. See this giant pile of conflicting evidence, this story of your life that you have used to judge yourself. See it all. And now, with great love and reverence for the journey it represents, place this entire pile onto a sacred bonfire. Watch the flames consume it all. The good, the bad, the beautiful, the ugly. Watch it all turn to smoke and ash, rising into the vast, indifferent sky. And what is left when all the evidence is gone? Only you, pure being, the simple, unadorned fact of your existence. And in that simplicity is your absolute, unshakable worth. Breathe in and feel the simple truth. I am. Breathe out and feel the inescapable conclusion. Therefore, I am worthy. Repeat this, not as an affirmation to convince yourself, but as a recognition of a law of nature. I am, therefore I am worthy. Feel this truth settle into your bones, into your cells, into the very marrow of your being. It is the foundation upon which all true creation is built. Because when you finally accept your own unconditional worth, the entire dynamic of your relationship with the universe shifts. You are no longer a beggar pleading for scraps from the master's table. You are a beloved child of the cosmos, sitting at the banquet, entitled to all its abundance. You are a co-creator, and from this sovereign state of being, from this solid gold of your own inherent value, you can finally begin to ask, not with the weak voice of one who hopes, but with the silent, confident, royal authority of one who knows they are worthy to receive. You are resting in the solid gold of your own inherent worth. The old, painful idea that you must earn your place in the cosmos has dissolved, and you are left in the quiet dignity of your own being. From this high and holy state, you are no longer a beggar at the gates of the universe. You are a sovereign co-creator, standing in the creative center of your own reality. And now, from this place of power, we learn the royal language of creation. We learn how to ask. But this is an asking unlike any you have known. It is an asking without words, without pleading, without any sense of lack. It is the silent, powerful, creative act of assumption. For most of your life, asking has been a verbal exercise rooted in scarcity. You would say, "Please, universe, bring me peace. Please, God, I need more abundance. I wish I could find love." Look closely at these statements. Each one is a powerful affirmation of what you do not have. Each prayer, spoken from a place of lack, simply commands the universe to give you more of what you already are. A person who lacks peace, abundance, and love. The creative intelligence of the universe does not respond to your words of wanting. It responds with perfect and impersonal precision to your state of being. It responds to your feeling, your assumption, your belief about who you are and what is true for you right now. The great secret, passed down by mystics and sages, is this: To have your desire, you must first feel what it would feel like to have it. Feeling is the secret. The prayer is not the asking. The prayer is the receiving of the feeling, here and now, before there is any evidence in the outer world. Let us return to the garden. Your inner world, your consciousness, is the fertile soil. It is infinitely powerful and utterly impartial. It will grow any seed you plant in it without question or judgment. If you plant a seed of worry, it will yield a harvest of anxious circumstances. If you plant a seed of resentment, it will yield a harvest of bitter interactions. Now, think of your desire. The desire for health, for joy, for a specific outcome. The words health or joy are not the seed. They are just a label on the seed packet. The seed itself is the feeling, the living essence of health or joy. A good gardener does not stand in his field and shout letters at the soil, spelling out the name of the fruit he wants. He finds the actual seed, the living germ of the apple or the pear, and he plants that in the fertile ground. Your work as a conscious creator is to find the living seed of your desire and the feeling of the wish already fulfilled, and plant it with faith into the fertile soil of your consciousness. Let us do this now. Choose one desire that is dear to your heart. For this practice, do not choose 10, choose one. Let it be something that fills you with a sense of expansion and joy. Now, instead of thinking of your desire as something distant, we are going to think from it as something already real. We are going to construct a short, simple, single, static image or a few seconds of motion that would take place after your wish has been fulfilled. The scene must imply that the desire is a finished, accomplished fact. For instance, if your desire is for a deep sense of inner peace, your scene might be you, sitting in your favorite chair, a soft, serene smile on your face as you gaze out a window, feeling utterly calm. If your desire is for a loving partnership, your scene might be the simple, powerful feeling of a loving hand holding yours. If your desire is for success in a venture, your scene might be a friend congratulating you, and you feeling the genuine thrill of accomplishment. Make the scene short, simple, and full of feeling. Now, close your spiritual eyes and step into this scene. You are not watching it on a screen. You are the actor in this divine play. Engage all your senses. What do you see through your own eyes in this scene of fulfillment? What colors? What light? What do you hear? Is it the voice of a loved one? Is it a beautiful silence? What do you touch? The fabric of the chair, the warmth of another's hand, and most importantly, what do you feel? This is the core of the entire process. What is the dominant feeling, the emotional signature of your wish being a present tense reality? Is it relief? Is it gratitude? Is it joy? Is it a quiet sense of security? Is it love? Isolate that feeling. Let it be the anchor of this entire experience. Now, live in this imaginal act. Dwell in this state. Marinate your consciousness in this feeling of fulfillment. If your mind wanders, gently bring it back. If the ego mind whispers, "This is just pretending," see that thought as a meaningless cloud and return to the feeling. The feeling is the truth you are choosing. The feeling is the seed you are planting. The feeling is the prayer. As you hold this state, you are impressing this new reality upon the formless substance of the universe. You are vibrating at the frequency of your solution. You are instructing your subconscious mind, the faithful builder, with a new blueprint. You are speaking to the universe in the only language it truly understands, the language of being. Hold this feeling. Let it saturate every cell. Feel the relief, the joy, the gratitude of it being done. It is finished. It is real. Right now, in the only place reality ever exists, your own consciousness. You do not need to struggle or strain. This should be a joyful, effortless process. You are simply choosing a new reality and inhabiting it with your imagination and feeling. Think of it as trying on a new set of clothes. You feel how they fit, you see how they look, you enjoy the sensation of wearing them. You are now trying on the feeling garment of your fulfilled desire. Wear it, own it, feel its texture. Let it become your new, natural state of being. You have now performed the most sacred and powerful act of creation. You have not pleaded, you have assumed. You have not begged, you have accepted. You have planted a living seed into the womb of creation. The active, creative work is now done. Your part as the conscious gardener is complete for this moment. Your only remaining task is to remain faithful to this feeling you have generated, to trust the seed you have planted. You must now learn to tune your entire being to this new reality, so that when the seed blossoms in the outer world, you recognize it as the harvest you have already sown. The seed of your desire has been planted in the fertile soil of consciousness. The imaginal act is complete. You have tasted the sweetness of the fruit from the branch of a reality that is not yet visible to your mortal eyes. And now, a crucial stage begins. The common error is to perform this creative act and then immediately return to the old state of being, to walk away from the garden and allow the weeds of doubt and worry to choke the new life. The wise gardener, however, knows that the seed requires more than just planting. It requires a specific atmosphere, a consistent environment in which to germinate and grow. You must now learn to become that environment. You must tune the instrument of your own being to the musical note of the reality you have just claimed. You must learn to hold the frequency. Both ancient mysticism and modern physics point to the same fundamental truth. The universe, in its essence, is not solid matter. It is a vast, vibrating ocean of energy. Everything you see, everything you touch, everything you are, is simply energy slowed down into a particular pattern, a particular frequency. A stone vibrates at a very dense, slow frequency. Light vibrates at an unimaginably fast frequency. And in between are all the things of creation. Your thoughts and, more importantly, your feelings are also vibrations. They are your personal energy signature, the signal you are constantly broadcasting out into this universal field of energy. Fear is a low, slow, chaotic frequency. Joy is a high, fast, coherent frequency. And the foundational law of this energetic universe is simple. Like attracts like. A specific frequency can only perceive, experience, and attract circumstances and events that are vibrating in harmony with it. This is not a system of reward or punishment. It is simply physics. When you are dominantly in a state of anxiety, you are broadcasting the frequency of anxiety, and the universe, like a perfect mirror, must reflect back to you situations that resonate with anxiety. When you are dominantly in a state of love and trust, you are broadcasting that frequency, and life must organize itself around you to reflect that state. You are a living, breathing, broadcasting tower, and the feeling state you inhabit is the frequency you send out. The great work of conscious creation is to stop allowing your frequency to be dictated by external events and to start consciously choosing your frequency so that external events begin to conform to it. Imagine your soul is a string on a divine guitar. The reality of your fulfilled, desire-perfect peace, abundant health, unconditional love is a perfect, clear, resonant musical note. Let us call it the note of C. Now, for most of your life, the string of your soul has been slack. It has been untuned, weighed down by doubt, lack, and worry. When life plucks this string, it doesn't produce the note of C. It produces a dull, discordant thud, a flat, lifeless sound. It is simply not at the correct tension to create the music you desire. The imaginal act you just performed, feeling the wish fulfilled, was like striking a tuning fork. You held it up to your soul, and for a moment, you heard the perfect note of C. You now know what your target reality feels like, The practice of tuning your frequency is the act of gently, patiently turning the tuning peg of your awareness. You are tightening the string of your consciousness, not with strain or force, but with focused, loving attention, until its natural, resting vibration is the perfect note of C. How is this done? It is done by cultivating a new sense of loyalty. Your loyalty is no longer to the reality your five senses report to you. Your loyalty is now to the reality you claimed in your imagination. You must begin to live from the end, from the feeling of the wish fulfilled. This becomes your new home, your new default state. As you lie here, preparing for sleep, do not let your mind drift back into the discordant notes of the day's worries. Gently, lovingly, return to the feeling of your desire being a fact. What does that peace feel like in your body? What does that love feel like in your chest? This feeling is your tuning fork. Return to it again and again. It is your touchstone. It is your North Star. This practice requires a new discipline, a mental diet. You must consciously refuse to entertain thoughts and feelings that are out of tune with your desired reality. When a thought of doubt arises, and it will, you do not have to fight it. Fighting it gives it energy. Simply notice it. Hear its flat, discordant note, and say to it, silently, "This is not the note I am playing. This is not my reality." And then, with the gentle focus of a master musician, you return your attention to the feeling of the perfect C. You return to the feeling of the wish fulfilled. You are not denying the existence of the ugly note. You are simply refusing to give it your creative attention. You are choosing which music to amplify in the concert hall of your mind. Embody this new frequency. If the feeling you chose was one of profound confidence, how would a confident person be lying here right now? They would be breathing deeply, their body relaxed, their mind at ease. So, breathe that way. Relax your body in that way. Embody the physical posture of your fulfilled desire. You are aligning your physical self with your imaginal self. You are creating a state of coherence, where your mind, body, and spirit are all vibrating in harmony, all broadcasting the same clear signal into the field. This is not pretending. This is a declaration of your new truth. You are living in the end. You are walking by faith, not by sight. Your inner world is no longer a mirror of the outer world. Your inner world has become the creative matrix, the mold, into which the fluid reality of the outer world must now pour. Hold this frequency as you drift toward the threshold of sleep. Let the last waking sensation you are aware of be the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Let this perfect resonant note be the lullaby that sings you to sleep, because you are about to hand this frequency, this perfect note, over to the great musician who works while the conscious mind rests. You are setting the key for the symphony that will be composed in the great, silent workshop of your subconscious mind during the night. You are tuning the instrument. You are holding the note. You are becoming the vibration of the reality you choose. And the universe has no choice but to harmonize with the song that you sing. You are holding the note. The clear, resonant frequency of your wish fulfilled vibrates through the instrument of your being. You have planted the seed of feeling, and you have tuned your soul to its reality. Now you approach the most mysterious, most potent, and most misunderstood phase of this creative process. You stand at the threshold of sleep. This is not merely a transition into unconsciousness. It is a sacred gateway. The state of drowsiness, that soft, hazy, dreamlike state just before you lose awareness, is the most fertile moment of your entire 24-hour cycle. In this state, the analytical, skeptical, conscious mind, the guardian at the gate, becomes sleepy. Its vigilance relaxes, its arguments fade, its grip loosens. And as the watchman dozes, the door to the throne room, the door to the Holy of Holies, swings silently open. This is the entrance to the vast, powerful, and mysterious kingdom of your subconscious mind. The feeling state you hold in this moment, the frequency you are vibrating with as you cross this threshold, is the final decree you issue to the king of this inner realm. It is the sealed order you deliver to the master builder who will work tirelessly on your behalf in the darkness. Who is this master builder? What is this subconscious mind? It is the vast, submerged 9/10 of the iceberg of your consciousness. It is the deep, dark, fertile soil beneath the topsoil of your waking awareness. Your conscious mind is the gardener who chooses the seed, but the subconscious is the earth itself, with all its incomprehensible power to transform a tiny, dry seed into a living, breathing tree. You must understand its nature to work with it effectively. Firstly, the subconscious mind is impersonal and non-selective. It does not judge, it does not argue, it does not have a sense of humor. It is like a mirror or a piece of photographic film. It receives the impression you give it and begins to develop it into a reality without question. It does not care if the impression is one of health or sickness, abundance or poverty. Its loyalty is not to your happiness, but to your belief. It is utterly, devotedly faithful to the commands it receives from your dominant feelings and assumptions. This is why a person who constantly feels unworthy or anxious, despite consciously wanting to be happy, will find their subconscious mind diligently creating circumstances that validate their feelings of unworthiness and anxiety. It is simply executing the most deeply felt command. Secondly, the language of the subconscious is not logical, sequential words. Its native tongue is feeling, symbol, and image. This is why all the work we have done, creating an imaginal scene and generating the feeling of the wish fulfilled, is so critically important. You can repeat verbal affirmations for years, but if your underlying feeling is one of lack, you are giving the subconscious a conflicting order. The words say one thing, but the feeling its native language says the opposite. It will always obey the feeling. Your feeling state is the master command. It is the blueprint, written in a language the builder understands perfectly. Finally, the subconscious mind is immensely powerful and wise. It is the intelligence that beats your heart, digests your food, heals your wounds, and performs trillions of complex cellular operations every second without any conscious help from you. It is also your connection to the universal mind, the infinite intelligence of the cosmos. It is the part of you that is plugged into the mainframe. It knows things you do not know. It sees pathways you cannot see. When you give it a clear command, a clear feeling of the end result, it has access to means and methods that your conscious mind could never conceive of. It can arrange chance encounters, spark intuitive ideas in your mind, influence the moods of others in your favor, and orchestrate a complex web of synchronicities to bring about the physical manifestation of your inner assumption. It is the master strategist and the tireless worker. Now, let us use our central metaphor for this process. Imagine your current reality, the world you perceive with your 5 senses, is one shore of a great chasm, and on the other shore, far away, is the reality of your fulfilled desire, the inner world where you have already been in your imagination. The chasm between these two shores is the seeming void of time, space, and circumstance. It seems impossible to cross, but you have a secret ally. The subconscious mind is the master bridge builder. Its sole purpose is to build a bridge across this chasm, connecting your inner assumption to its outer, physical expression. This builder and his crew work only at night, in the darkness of sleep and the quiet of your unconscious moments. All they need from you, the architect, is a clear blueprint. The feeling of your wish fulfilled, the frequency you have been tuning, the state you are holding as you drift into sleep, this is the blueprint. Before you cross the threshold into the workshop of sleep, you hand this blueprint to the master builder. If the blueprint is clear, crisp, and detailed in its feeling, Tolle, it is a confident and joyful assumption of the end result. The builder looks at it, nods with understanding, and gets to work. He knows exactly what to do. He begins to gather the materials, the right people, the right opportunities, the right ideas. He lays the foundations, shifting your own beliefs and perceptions to align with the new reality. He constructs the great span of the bridge, piece by piece, through a series of events and synchronicities that your conscious mind will later call luck, coincidence, or a miracle. However, if just before you fall asleep, you allow the feeling of your wish fulfilled to be smudged with the greasy fingerprints of doubt, if you start thinking, "I wonder how this will happen," or "this probably won't work," you are handing the master builder a confusing, contradictory, and stained blueprint. He will look at it, confused, and his work will be slow, chaotic, or he may build a bridge that leads halfway across the chasm and then stops. The clarity and faith of your final waking moments are paramount. This is why the moments before sleep are so sacred. You are giving your final instructions for the night shift. You are programming the autopilot for the next 8 hours. You are setting the course for the great ship of your soul as it sails through the deep, creative waters of the night. So, let us now perform this sacred act of entrustment. As you lie here, feeling the gentle pull of sleep, let go of all effort. Do not try to force the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Simply rest in it. Let it be a soft, warm blanket that covers you. Revisit your short, simple scene one last time. Feel the hand holding yours. See the smile on your face in the mirror. Hear the words of congratulations and sink into the quiet, satisfied feeling of it being done. This is the final, loving seal on the blueprint. Now, in your mind's eye, imagine a wise, loving, infinitely powerful presence within you. This is your subconscious self, the master builder. See yourself handing this beautiful, glowing blueprint, this feeling over to this presence. You are not discarding it, you are entrusting it. You are delegating the task to the one who is infinitely more capable of carrying it out. And as you hand it over, make a silent, trusting decree. This is now yours to execute. I have done my part. I trust you completely. I know you know how to bring this to pass. I release it to you now with full faith. Thank you. Feel the sense of relief that comes with this handover. The burden is no longer yours to carry. The how is not your concern. The timing is not your business. Your only job was to create the blueprint and hand it over with faith. Now you can truly rest. And this changes the very nature of sleep. Sleep is no longer a passive state of oblivion. It is an active, creative workshop. You are not falling unconscious. You are releasing your conscious awareness to allow a greater awareness to take over the creative work. You are going on a sacred pilgrimage into the engine room of reality. You are laying your prayer, your feeling state, upon the altar of the deep mind, knowing that the priests of creation will tend to it through the night, preparing the world for the manifestation of your assumption. Rest now, rest in this deep, trusting knowing. The builder has your plans, the work has begun, the blueprint has been delivered, the feeling of your wish fulfilled has been impressed upon the deep, creative mind. The master builder has received his instructions and has begun his silent, sacred work. And now you arrive at the most paradoxical, the most graceful, and for the conscious mind, the most challenging step in this entire sacred art. It is the practice of surrender, the art of letting go. Having done the powerful inner work of creation, you must now release the creation itself. You must let it go with the same faith with which a child releases a prayer attached to a balloon, watching it float up into the vastness of the sky, confident it has reached its destination. Let us be clear about what surrender is. It is not defeat. It is not resignation. It is not apathy or giving up on your desire. It is the very opposite. Surrender in this context is an act of supreme and unwavering faith. It is the confident and peaceful release of the need to control the outcome. It is the conscious dropping of the heavy burden of the how, the when, and the where. It is a profound declaration of trust in the infinite wisdom that is now orchestrating the fulfillment of your desire. It is you, the architect, handing the blueprints to the master builder and then walking away from the construction site, knowing the job will be done perfectly without your anxious supervision. The ego, the conscious mind, finds this terrifying. It has been trained to believe that if it is not worrying, planning, and controlling, then nothing will get done. It wants to dig up the seed every hour to see if it is sprouting. But the wise gardener knows this only kills the seed. Your anxious meddling only serves to communicate one thing to the subconscious mind: doubt. It is a second contradictory order that says, I don't actually trust you to handle the task I just assigned you. Consider the master archer. Her art is a perfect metaphor for this process. She selects her arrow with care that is choosing your desire. She knocks it to the bowstring that is creating your specific imaginal scene. She then draws the bow, gathering immense potential energy into the system. This is the powerful act of generating the feeling of the wish fulfilled. All of her focus, all of her strength, is in this drawing of the bow. She aligns her body, her breath, and her gaze upon the target. And then comes the moment of truth, the release. A master archer's release is crisp, clean, and total. The moment the arrow is loosed, her work is finished. She does not try to run after the arrow to steer it with her hands. She does not shout instructions at it as it flies through the air. She does not worry if the wind will carry it astray. She trusts the integrity of her aim. She trusts the power she imbued in the bow, and she trusts the unfailing laws of physics that will carry the arrow to its mark. Her surrender of the arrow is the final, critical component of her art. Your work too is done in the feeling. Now is your moment of release. You must let the arrow of your desire fly and trust the unfailing spiritual laws that are now guiding it to its destination. So how do we practice this art of letting go? Let us make it a physical experience. Right now, scan your body for the feeling of control. Where does the need to manage everything live inside you? For many, it is a tightness in the jaw, a clenching of the teeth. For others, it is a heavy, knotted weight in the shoulders and neck. For some, it is a tight, anxious knot in the pit of the stomach. Find your personal home of control. This tension is the physical manifestation of you trying to hold your world together through force of will. Now, I want you to imagine that you are holding this entire burden, all the hows and whens, all the worries about your desire in your hands. Imagine it as a heavy, rough stone. Feel its weight, its sharp edges digging into your palms. You are clutching it tightly. Your knuckles are white with the effort of holding on. This is the burden of control. Now, very slowly, we are going to release it. With your intention, uncurl just one finger, your little finger. Feel the tiny release of tension in your hand and forearm. Now, the next finger. Slowly, deliberately, let it uncurl and release its grip on the stone. Now the middle finger, then the index finger. The stone is now balanced precariously in your palm and on your thumb. You can feel its immense weight. The final act is to release the thumb. Take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, let your thumb release its grip completely. Feel the heavy stone of control tumble from your hand. Feel the immediate lightness in your fingers, your palm, your arm. Imagine you can hear it thud onto the floor beside you, a deep, resonant sound of finality. It is no longer yours to carry. It has been released. The Master Builder has it, the universe has it, the law has it. Let us use the breath to deepen this surrender. With every out-breath, you will release another aspect of control. Breathe in deeply, feeling the presence of your fulfilled desire as a quiet, background hum. Now, as you breathe out, silently say the word how. and feel all of your need to figure out the process flowing out of you, dissolving into the air. Breathe in again, feeling the quiet faith, and as you breathe out, silently release the when, letting go of all attachment to a specific timeline, trusting the divine timing of the universe. Breathe in, feeling the peace of knowing it is done. Breathe out and release the why, letting go of the need for logical explanations or justifications. With each breath, you become lighter. You are emptying yourself of the need to manage the miracle. You are becoming a space of pure, receptive trust. When you live in this state of surrendered faith, you are not idle. You are simply alert and at peace. You trust that the universe will construct what Neville Goddard called a bridge of incidents to lead you to your desire. A series of seemingly normal, natural events, a chance phone call, an overheard conversation, a sudden idea, an unexpected opportunity will appear in your life. Because you are not anxiously striving, your eyes are open to see these events. Because you are not full of mental noise, your ears are open to hear your own intuition guiding you to walk across the bridge. Your only job is to say yes to the next logical step as it is presented to you, to walk confidently across each plank of the bridge as it appears before your feet. You do not have to engineer the appearance of the planks. You just have to walk. Rest now in this beautiful, liberating state of surrender. The arrow is in flight. The seed is in the earth. The blueprint is with the builder. Your work is done. You have performed the highest and most powerful magic of all. You have created in consciousness, and then you have trusted the Creator. In this peace, in this quiet, in this openness, your spirit is now perfectly tuned to receive. You are no longer broadcasting the static of anxious control. You are a clear channel. And when the channel is clear, messages can be received, sometimes in the most unexpected and mysterious of ways, even in the sacred theater of your dreams. You are floating now in the calm, clear ocean of surrender. You have released the heavy stone of control, and your hands are open. Your mind is quiet, your heart is at peace. In this state of profound receptivity, you are no longer a fortress, but an open temple. You are a clear channel, ready to receive. As you drift gently now toward the mysterious shores of sleep, you can make a gentle invitation. You can ask for a message from the other side of the veil, from the deep intelligence that works on your behalf in the darkness. We now, with humble intention, open ourselves to the wisdom of the dream time. For centuries, our modern world has dismissed the dream. It has been called the random firing of neurons, the meaningless discharge of the day's mental refuse, a bizarre and chaotic theater without a director. But the ancients knew better. From the temples of Egypt to the oracles of Greece, from the shamans of the Amazon to the mystics of the East, the dream was held as sacred. It was understood to be a primary vehicle of communication between the world of form and the realm of spirit. It was a portal where the soul could speak, where gods could give guidance, and where the future could cast its shadow or its light before it. Tonight, we reclaim this ancient wisdom. We approach our own dreams not as a meaningless byproduct of biology, but as a potential source of profound insight and guidance. The subconscious mind, the master builder who is even now processing the blueprint of your desire, does not speak in the linear, logical language of your waking mind. Its native tongue is the rich, poetic, and often surreal language of symbol, metaphor, and feeling. The dream is its nightly report. It is the letter it slips under the door of your conscious awareness while you are away. Now, learning to understand these letters requires a new kind of literacy. The conscious mind, upon finding one of these letters, tends to make a mistake. It becomes obsessed with the envelope. The envelope is the strange, illogical plot of the dream. I was in my childhood home, but it was also a spaceship, and my cat was giving me financial advice. The conscious mind tries to analyze this. to figure it out and quickly becomes confused and dismisses the whole thing as nonsense. But the real message is never on the envelope. It is inside. The message is the feeling the dream leaves you with upon waking. That feeling is the pure, undiluted content of the letter. Your only task is to open the envelope, take out the feeling, and throw the envelope away. When you first surface from sleep, the most important question is not, what was the plot? The most important question is, what was the core feeling? Did you wake with a feeling of profound peace and resolution? That is the message. Did you wake with a sense of urgency and excitement? That is the message. Did you wake with a lingering feeling of unease or of something being unresolved? That too, in its own way, is a vital message. The feeling is the communique from your deep self. The story was just the vehicle it rode in on. How might these messages appear in relation to the creative act you have undertaken? They can come in several forms. Sometimes, a dream serves as a powerful confirmation. You might have a dream that is seemingly unrelated to your desire, but you will wake up feeling an unshakable sense of joy, peace, and certainty. This is your subconscious mind sending you a clear signal. Message received. The blueprint is perfect. The work is proceeding beautifully. All is well. Cherish this feeling. It is a powerful affirmation that your desire is on its way. At other times, a dream can offer guidance. It may present a symbol, a person, or a place that is a clue regarding the next plank on your bridge of incidents. You might dream of a long-forgotten friend, and upon waking feel a nudge to call them, only to find they have the very connection or piece of information you need. You might dream of a book or a specific location, and in exploring it, you find the next step on your path. The dream rarely says, "Do this." It simply presents a symbol and leaves you with a feeling, and your intuition, your inner knowing, understands the hint. And sometimes, a dream can be unsettling. It can bring up feelings of fear or anxiety, or show you a frustrating scenario where you are trying to get somewhere but cannot. Do not see this as a bad omen or a sign that your desire will be denied. See it as a profound gift. In these dreams, your subconscious, the master builder, is showing you a hidden obstacle. It is revealing a deep-seated limiting belief or a stored fear that is acting as a blockage in the creative process. If you dream of being lost and alone, it may be showing you a hidden fear of abandonment that needs to be healed before you can accept the love you desire. If you dream of being unprepared for an exam, it might be revealing a core belief that you are not good enough. This dream is not a punishment, it is a diagnosis. It is your deepest self, lovingly pointing to the next piece of inner work, the next shadow to be met with your compassionate awareness. So tonight, we will perform a simple, gentle ritual. We will invite a messenger. Before you fully release yourself to sleep, state a clear and humble intention. It is not a demand, but a polite request sent into the deep. You might say, silently in your heart, "Tonight, as I sleep, I am open to receiving any message, any clarity, any guidance that will serve my highest good and the fulfillment of my desire. I ask my deep, wise self to communicate with me in a way that I can understand upon waking. I am ready to listen." You can even pose a gentle question, such as, "What is the next step for me to take?" or "What belief is ready to be released?" As a physical anchor for this intention, it is a powerful practice to place a notebook and pen by your bedside. This simple act is a potent symbol. It tells your subconscious mind, "I am taking you seriously. I value what you have to say. I am creating a space to receive your letters. I am ready." And then let it go. Do not be anxious about whether you will dream or not. The intention itself is what matters. In the morning, when you first regain consciousness, before you move a muscle, before you think of the day ahead, lie perfectly still. Your first conscious act should be to scan for the residue of the dream time. Ask yourself, what was the feeling? What was the last image? Capture the very first thing that comes. It may be a single word, peace. It may be a color, an image, a faint emotion. Write that down. That is the jewel. The long, convoluted story that you might try to piece together later is just the sand in which the jewel was found. Do not worry if you remember nothing. Many of the most powerful messages are delivered directly to the soul, and their work is done without the conscious mind ever knowing. The act of inviting and being open is enough, for in this act, you are affirming your trust in a guidance beyond your ego, an intelligence working on your behalf behind the veil. You are learning to trust the unseen order of things. Whether a dream came to you as a vivid messenger in the night, or your sleep was a deep and silent void, the very act of inviting that communication was a statement of faith. It was an acknowledgement that you are not alone in your own consciousness, that there is an intelligence operating behind the curtain of the visible world. Now, we expand that lens of faith. We zoom out from the intimacy of your own inner world to the vast cosmic tapestry in which your life is woven. We learn to wrap ourselves in the profound peace that comes from trusting the unseen order of things. Your conscious mind, your ego, has been trained to believe that the universe is a chaotic, random, and often hostile place. It perceives life as a series of disconnected events, some lucky, some unlucky, with no overarching pattern or purpose. From this limited vantage point, life becomes a struggle, a battle to impose your will upon a cold and indifferent reality. This perspective is the source of immense anxiety, for it makes you a tiny, isolated soldier fighting a war on a battlefield of infinite size. But this perspective is an illusion. It is a profound misreading of the nature of reality. Beneath the surface appearance of chaos, there is a deep, intelligent, and impeccable order. The universe is not a cacophony, it is a symphony. You have simply been listening so closely to your own single, often discordant instrument that you have not been able to hear the grand harmonious music all around you. This unseen order has been given many names throughout history. The mystics call it the divine mind. The philosophers call it logos. The scientists of consciousness speak of universal laws, the law of vibration, the law of cause and effect, the law of karma. These are not punitive rules designed by a celestial king to punish you. They are the impersonal, unfailing, and utterly reliable physics of consciousness. They are as dependable as the law of gravity. They state, simply, that every cause has an effect, that every vibration attracts a like vibration, that the energy you put out into the world must, in some form, return to you. Your nightly ritual, this entire journey we have been on together, is a conscious decision to stop fighting against these laws and to start aligning yourself with them in a harmonious way. It is the art of learning to work with the fundamental grain of the universe instead of struggling against it. Consider the wise sailor upon the great ocean. The ocean is life itself, with its unpredictable storms, its periods of unnerving calm, and its moments of breathtaking beauty. The sailor's boat is their individual life, and their destination is the fulfillment of their soul's purpose. Now, the sailor cannot see the wind. The wind is the unseen order, invisible, powerful, and ever-present. A foolish sailor might curse the wind when it blows against them, or despair when it does not blow at all. They might try to row with all their might against a powerful gale, exhausting themselves and making no progress. But the wise sailor does not do this. The wise sailor trusts in the existence of the wind. They know that even when the air is still, the potential for wind is everywhere. They know that the wind is not their enemy. It is a powerful, neutral force. Their job is not to control the wind, but to master their own sails. The sails are your state of being, your attitude, your faith, your dominant frequency. When you perform this nightly ritual, you are not trying to command the wind. You are mending and adjusting your sails. When you release your armor and give voice to your shadows, you are patching the holes in your sails. When you cultivate the feeling of gratitude, you are strengthening the fabric of your sails. When you assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you are angling your sails perfectly to catch the coming breeze. You are making yourself ready. You are aligning yourself with the unseen order, signaling your trust and your readiness to move. And then you surrender, you let go, and you trust that the divine winds will carry you towards your destination, even if it is by a route your conscious mind could never have charted. This trust transforms your relationship with life's challenges. When a storm hits, the wise sailor does not see it as a punishment. They know it may be the very thing needed to blow them off a comfortable but incorrect course, away from hidden reefs they could not see. When you face a difficulty in your life, you can begin to trust that it is not a sign that you have failed, but perhaps a necessary storm from the unseen order, designed to teach you a new skill, to reveal a hidden strength, or to steer you toward a far greater destiny. When the sailor is caught in the doldrums, when the air is still and the boat does not move, they do not panic. They use the time to rest, to repair their rigging, to study their charts. When you face periods of stillness or delay in your life, you can trust that this is not abandonment. It is a sacred pause, gifted to you by the unseen order, a time for integration, for rest, and for preparation before the winds pick up once more. Look back on your own life. Can you not see the hand of this unseen order? Can you see how a job you lost pushed you into a career you love? How a painful breakup cleared the way for a more authentic relationship? How a moment of failure taught you a lesson that became the cornerstone of your later success? Your ego, at the time, labeled these events as bad, but a deeper intelligence was at play, weaving a pattern you could only see in retrospect. Trusting the unseen order is the art of believing in the beauty of the pattern while it is still being woven. It is the deep, cellular peace that comes from saying, I do not understand everything that is happening, but I trust the artist. Rest in this trust. Let it be a balm for your anxious mind. You do not have to figure everything out. You do not have to carry the weight of the world. You simply have to be the best sailor you can be, keeping your own vessel, your mind and heart, in good repair, and keeping your sails trimmed and ready. The wind will do the rest. The unseen order is benevolent, it is intelligent, and it is always working for your highest good. When you lean back into this trust, when you feel the invisible currents of this benevolent order supporting you, a final, profound realization begins to dawn. You recognize that you are not just a sailor on the ocean. The force that moves the wind and the consciousness that sails the boat are not separate things. And the painful illusion that you were ever alone, a tiny, struggling fragment in a vast cosmos, finally begins to dissolve. You are resting in the deep and steady arms of the unseen order. You have surrendered your need to control, and you have placed your faith in the wise, benevolent intelligence that guides the stars in their courses and the seasons in their turning. You have felt its support, like the invisible wind in your sails. But now, we must take one final, crucial step in this understanding. We must come to realize that the wind is not separate from the sailor, that the ocean is not separate from the wave. The time has come to gently, lovingly, dissolve the foundational illusion of the ego, the root of all fear, the illusion of separation. From the moment you were born, your 5 senses began reporting a world of division. They showed you this and that, me and other. They taught you that you end at the boundary of your skin. Your mind then took this sensory data and built a story around it, the story of a separate, isolated self, a fragile fragment adrift in a vast and overwhelming cosmos. This feeling of being a small, vulnerable me confronting a massive, external not me is the primary source of all human anxiety. It is the root of loneliness, of competition, of the fear of death, and the desperate scramble for significance. It is the core wound of humanity. But it is, and has always been, an illusion, a sacred, convincing, but ultimately untrue perception. Tonight, we will see through this illusion. We will experience the profound, liberating truth of our own interconnectedness. There is a timeless, mystical teaching, often attributed to the poet Rumi, that says, "You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop." Let us sit with this profound truth. Imagine a single drop of water suspended in the air. From its own limited perspective, it is a separate entity. It has a boundary, a surface tension that defines its beginning and its end. It sees the vast ocean below it as a terrifying, powerful other. It fears falling into this ocean, fears being absorbed, fears losing its precious individual identity. This is the perspective of the human ego. But what is the reality? The reality is that the drop is made of the exact same substance as the ocean. Its chemical composition is identical. The salt, the minerals, the water, it is all ocean. The drop is not merely in the ocean. The drop is the ocean, expressing itself for a moment in the form of a drop. The boundary is a temporary, perceptual illusion. And when the drop finally falls and merges with the great body of water, is it dying? Is it being annihilated? Or is it simply coming home to its own larger self, releasing the strain of holding itself in a separate form? You are this drop, and you are this ocean. Your body, your personality, your name, your story. This is the form of the drop. But your essence, your consciousness, your very being, is the ocean of divine, universal intelligence. You are not a human being having a spiritual experience. You are a spiritual being, the entire ocean, having a temporary human experience in the form of a drop. And the purpose of this experience is for the ocean to know itself in this unique and precious form. When you realize this, the fear begins to dissolve. The desperate need to protect and defend the tiny drop of your ego lessens, because you know your true identity is as vast, as eternal, and as indestructible as the entire ocean. Let us feel this truth now, moving it from an intellectual concept into a living experience. Bring your awareness to the boundaries of your physical body. Feel the sensation of the air on your skin. For a moment, this feels like a clear boundary. But now, notice your breath. You draw the air from the room deep into your lungs. That air, which was not you a moment ago, becomes you. It merges with your blood. It delivers life to your cells. And then you exhale. And what was you a moment ago now becomes the air in the room again, ready to be breathed by another person, another plant. Where is the real boundary? The line between you and the air is in constant fluid exchange. You are literally breathing the world, and the world is breathing you. Now, expand your awareness beyond your skin. Feel the subtle energy field that surrounds your body. Feel your presence filling the space you occupy. Can you find the exact line where you end and the silence of the room begins? Allow your sense of self to become porous, to soften, to gently merge with the stillness around you. Feel yourself becoming one with the room. Now, feel the steady, gentle pull of gravity. It is the earth, holding you. It is a constant, loving embrace. You are not simply resting on the planet. You are an extension of the planet. The iron in your blood, the calcium in your bones, the water in your cell set is all borrowed from the earth. You are the earth, configured for a short time into this beautiful human form. Feel this deep, inseparable connection. Your body is a temporary island, but your substance is the entire continent. Let your awareness expand even further. Feel your connection to the entire web of life. Think of the food you ate today, the sunlight and water and soil that became a plant or an animal, that you then took into your body to become your own energy. You are connected in an unbroken chain to the sun, the rain, the soil. Now, Expand out into the night sky. See the distant stars. That starlight, which has traveled for millions of years, is entering your eyes right now, becoming a part of your conscious experience. The very atoms that make up your body were forged in the heart of stars just like those long ago. You are not just looking at the cosmos, you are the cosmos, looking back at itself. You are a way for the universe to become aware of its own majesty, its own mystery. You are stardust, animated by divine consciousness. Feel the truth of this, the deep, silent peace that it brings. In this state of oneness, loneliness is an impossibility. Fear of death becomes a misunderstanding. The frantic need to prove your worth becomes irrelevant. You are not a separate fragment fighting for survival. You are an integral, beloved, and necessary part of a single, magnificent, intelligent whole. You are a unique and perfect expression of the one life. You are a thought in the divine mind. You are a note in the cosmic symphony, and the entire symphony is rejoicing in your unique sound. As you rest in this feeling of boundless, interconnected being, let your awareness gently return from the far reaches of the cosmos. Bring it back to the room, back to your physical form. But do not bring back the illusion of separation with it. Bring the feeling of the ocean back into the drop. Realize that this entire, vast, universal consciousness you just touched is not only out there, it has chosen to focus its infinite presence in one specific, sacred location to experience this life. It has focused itself right here, in the form that you call your body. The entire universe is not outside of you. The entire universe is contained within you, and this body is its most holy, most immediate, and most precious temple. From the boundless expanse of the cosmos, your awareness has returned. You have felt your oneness with the stars and the silence, and you have brought that oceanic feeling back with you into the precious vessel of your being. You have realized the profound truth that the universe is not only out there, it is experiencing itself in here. The great cosmic intelligence has not placed you in a body as a soul is placed in a cage. It has manifested as your body. The drop has remembered it is the ocean, and now the ocean remembers and cherishes the sacred form of the drop. Therefore, the ultimate pilgrimage is not to a distant holy land, but a journey inward into the holy land of your own physical form. For this body, this collection of bone and blood and breath, is the living, breathing temple of the divine. For most of your life, you have likely been at war with this temple. Our culture has taught us to see the body as an object to be perfected, a machine to be optimized, or a beast of burden to be disciplined. From a young age, you were taught to judge it, to compare its appearance to impossible ideals. The mind, the ego, became a harsh critic, pointing out every perceived flaw in the temple's architecture, the shape of its walls, the signs of its age, the texture of its surfaces. You were taught to override its gentle wisdom. When the temple whispered that it was tired, your mind shouted that it had to be more productive. When the temple signaled its hunger, your mind imposed rigid rules about what and when it should eat. When the temple expressed its need for simple, joyful movement, your mind forced it into punishing exercise routines. We have treated our own sacred ground as an unruly servant, to be whipped into submission by the force of our will. This long and painful war has created a deep schism between mind and body, between spirit and form. We have become disembodied, living in our heads, treating our bodies as mere transportation for the ceaseless inner narrator. We have numbed its sensations with distraction and sought to escape its realities, because it is the vessel of both pleasure and pain, and we have become afraid of both. So tonight, the first step in reconsecrating this holy ground is to declare a truce. It is to offer a sincere and loving apology to your own body. Let us do this now. Bring your awareness into your physical form, and with all the sincerity of your heart, silently speak to it. My dear faithful body, forgive me Forgive me for the years of judgment and criticism. Forgive me for ignoring your wisdom and overriding your gentle requests for rest and care. Forgive me for treating you as an object, when you have been my most constant and loyal companion on this entire earthly journey. Tonight, this war ends. Tonight, I come home to you. I promise to listen. I promise to honor you. I choose to see you not as a problem to be solved, but as a miracle to be revered. I choose to see you as my temple. Feel a wave of peace wash through you as you make this declaration. You can feel the temple itself sigh in relief. The long war is over. The homecoming has begun. Now, let us take a reverent tour of this magnificent, living temple. We will not analyze it as a biologist would, but explore it as a devotee would, with awe and gratitude. Bring your awareness first to the temple's sacred architecture, your skeleton. Feel the silent, steadfast strength of your bones, your spine, the great central pillar holding you upright with grace and resilience. Your ribs, a beautiful, curved sanctuary protecting your most vital inner chambers. Your legs and arms, the strong and silent buttresses that allow for movement and expression. These bones are the mineral memory of the earth, the stardust made solid, providing the foundational structure for your entire being. They have supported you every day of your life, without complaint, without needing acknowledgement. Send a wave of profound gratitude into your very marrow, thanking this silent, powerful framework. From the pillars, let us turn to the sacred rivers that flow through the temple's halls, your circulatory system. Become aware of your heart, the great central spring, the ever-beating drum in the heart of the sanctuary. It has pumped tirelessly, day and night, since before you were born. It is the engine of pure life force. From this spring, the red rivers of your blood flow out, carrying life-giving oxygen and nourishment to every single part of the temple, down to the furthest, tiniest cell in your fingertips. And then, these rivers faithfully return, carrying away all that is spent, to be purified and renewed. It is a perfect, self-sustaining system of giving and receiving. Feel this gentle, rhythmic pulse of life within you. It is the river of life, and it flows through you, as you. Offer your thanks to this tireless heart, to this river of blood, for its constant, life-sustaining service. Now, become aware of the holy wind that sweeps through the temple's corridors, your breath. This is prana, the vital life force of the universe itself, which you draw in as a personal gift with every inhalation. Feel the cool air enter your nostrils, filling your lungs, the great bellows of the temple. This sacred wind purifies the rivers of your blood and carries away what is no longer needed with every exhalation. Your breathing is the temple's constant, quiet chant, a mantra that connects the inner and outer worlds. It is the rhythm of peace, the song of life. It requires no effort. It is a gift, given freely, moment by moment. Breathe in gratitude for this breath. Breathe out, releasing all tension. Honor the sacred wind that animates the temple. Let your awareness now travel to the alchemical laboratory within the temple, your digestive system. Here, the most profound magic takes place. You take the raw elements of the eartha fruit, a vegetable, a grain of rice, and this wise inner intelligence transforms them. It breaks them down and transmutes them into the very substance of you. It turns a piece of bread into the living cells that make up the temple walls. This is an act of true alchemy, happening constantly within you. It is the miracle of the earth becoming you, and you becoming the earth. Send gratitude to this incredible system for its wisdom, for its ability to nourish and sustain the physical structure of this holy place. Finally, bring your awareness to the high council chamber, the dome of the temple, your brain and nervous system. Here sits the great oracle. An impossibly intricate web of light and electricity connects every single part of the temple. Messages flash faster than lightning, coordinating every function with an intelligence that your conscious mind cannot begin to fathom. This is the seat of perception, where the outer world is translated into the inner experience of sight, sound, and touch. It is a biological supercomputer of divine design. Do not judge it for its anxious thoughts, which are but clouds in the sky above the dome. Instead, honor the incredible instrument itself, this great receiver and transmitter that allows you to experience reality in all its richness. By now, you may feel a deep sense of peace and reverence for this body you inhabit. You have ceased to see it as a flawed object and have begun to experience it as a sacred, intelligent, and miraculous process. You are beginning to understand that the divine is not something you seek outside yourself. The divine is the very intelligence that is beating your heart, breathing your breath, and animating this form. Your body is the point of creation. It is the altar upon which the formless spirit experiences the world of form. Every sensation, the warmth of the blankets, the coolness of the air, the feeling of pressure where you lies a sacred communion. It is the universe touching itself, experiencing itself, knowing itself through you. Pain is not a punishment. It is a communication from the temple asking for attention. Pleasure is not a sin. It is the temple rejoicing in its own aliveness. To be fully in your body, to inhabit this temple with your full loving awareness, is the ultimate spiritual practice. For when you are truly home in this sacred ground, you become aware of the eternal flame that has been burning in its innermost sanctum all along, waiting patiently for you to return and tend to it. You are home. You are resting in the quiet reverence of your own body, this sacred and living temple. You have walked its hallowed halls, honored its sacred architecture, and felt the divine intelligence that animates it from within. Now, having reconsecrated the temple itself, we journey to its very heart, to the innermost sanctum, the Holy of Holies. For here, on the central altar of your being, a single, eternal flame has been burning since the moment of your conception. It has been there through every joy, every sorrow, every triumph, and every trial. This is your inner flame, your divine spark, the essence of who you truly are. This flame is a literal, living particle of the great fire of creation. It is the life force the yogis call prana and the mystics call spirit. It is the silent, knowing, and indestructible part of you that exists beyond name, beyond form, beyond the story of your life. Its nature is pure light, pure warmth, and pure intelligence. It cannot be extinguished by any storm of circumstance. It cannot be put out by loss, by failure, or even by death itself. But its light can be obscured. It can be neglected. The lamp in which it burns can become covered in the soot of fear and regret, its lens clouded by the dust of limiting beliefs, causing its brilliant light to appear to the world, and even to yourself, as a dim, flickering, and unreliable glow. Your most sacred duty, your most profound purpose in this life, is to become the keeper of this flame. Imagine you are the keeper of a great lighthouse, standing on the rocky shores of the world. Your body is the lighthouse itself, strong, resilient, built to withstand the crashing waves of life. The vast, dark, and often turbulent sea is the world around you, full of other souls navigating their own journeys through the night. The great lamp at the very top of the lighthouse is your inner flame, your soul, and you, your conscious awareness, are the lighthouse keeper. The keeper does not try to control the sea. He does not try to command the ships. He knows that is not his job. He has only one all-important duty to which he dedicates himself with unwavering devotion: to tend to the light. Every single day, he must climb the winding stairs to the top of the tower. He must polish the great lens until it is spotlessly clear, and he must refuel the lamp, ensuring it has everything it needs to burn brightly through the coming night. This is your work now, tending to your inner flame. First, you must clean the lens. The lens is your perception. It is your collection of beliefs, judgments, and stories about yourself and the world. Over the course of your life, this lens has become covered in the soot of self-criticism, the grime of old wounds, and the dust of fear. When the pure light of your soul shines through this dirty lens, it becomes distorted, diffused, and weak. The world doesn't see you in your true brilliance, and even you forget the power of your own light. The work we have done together, tonight, releasing the armor, witnessing the day without judgment, giving voice to the shadow shares, been the beginning of this great cleaning. Now, let us complete it. Visualize this beautiful, steady flame burning in your heart's center, a flame of pure golden white light. Now, see the glass lens that surrounds it. Notice any remaining smudges. A smudge of doubt about your future, a smudge of resentment from your past, a smudge of fear about your worthiness. Do not judge these smudges. Simply see them for what they are, accumulated dust. Now, take a deep, cleansing breath. And as you exhale, imagine you are using a soft, clean cloth, the cloth of your loving awareness, to gently wipe one of those smudges away. Breathe in peace and breathe out, wiping away the smudge of doubt. Watch as the light of your flame instantly shines a little brighter, a little more clearly in that direction. Breathe in love and breathe out, wiping away the smudge of an old resentment. See how your light expands, no longer blocked by that dark spot. Continue this process with a few gentle breaths. You are not scrubbing or fighting. You are just gently, lovingly, cleaning the lens of your own perception, allowing your own true light to shine without distortion. Now that the lens is clear, the second task of the keeper is to refuel the lamp. A flame needs fuel to burn brightly. The fuel for your inner flame is not oil or wood. Its fuel is high-frequency energy. Its fuel is love, joy, peace, truth, and gratitude. Every time you consciously choose a feeling of gratitude, you are pouring precious, high-grade fuel onto your inner fire. Every time you connect with a feeling of genuine love for another, for yourself, for the world, you are adding to its strength. Let us refuel the flame now. Bring to mind the warm, golden feeling of gratitude you cultivated earlier. Take a deep breath in and imagine you are drawing that feeling directly into your heart, feeding it to the flame. Watch as the flame responds, growing a little taller, a little stronger, its glow intensifying and becoming more stable. Now, bring to mind the feeling of your own inherent worthiness, the quiet dignity of your own being. Breathe this feeling into your heart as well. See the flame swell with this energy, burning with a quiet, confident power. You are feeding your soul with its native food. You are tending to your own divine essence. Feel the effects of this well-tended flame. Feel its gentle, radiant warmth spreading from your chest, down into your belly, through your arms and legs, up into your head. A feeling of deep, intrinsic, unshakable well-being. This is your true nature. This is your home frequency. This flame serves two profound purposes. Firstly, it is your inner compass. It is your truth detector. When you are contemplating a decision, when you are aligned with your true path, the flame burns brightly and you feel a sense of inner warmth and expansion. When you are moving in a direction that is out of alignment with your soul, the flame will feel as if it is dimming, and you will feel a sense of inner contraction or coldness. Learn to trust this simple, bodily sensation. It is your soul speaking to you directly, guiding you moment by moment. Secondly, this inner flame is your silent service to the world. You do not need to consciously try to heal or save anyone. As the lighthouse keeper, your job is simply to keep your own light burning brightly. A brilliant, steady light naturally radiates outwards. It provides warmth to those who are cold. It provides a beacon of hope for those who are lost in the darkness of their own storms. Your very presence, when your inner flame is well tended, becomes a healing, uplifting force in the world. You become a walking sanctuary, a lighthouse in human form. So rest now, keeper of the flame. Rest in the steady, warm glow of your own inner light. You have polished the lens and refueled the lamp. You have reconnected with the eternal, indestructible essence of your being. You have created the perfect inner conditions for healing and regeneration. This light, this warmth, will now infuse the very fabric of your sleep, transforming it from a mere biological necessity into a sacred, restorative, and deeply healing communion. You have prepared the sanctuary and lit the eternal flame. Now, you can finally allow the healing ministers of deep rest to begin their holy work. The lens of your perception is clear. The lamp of your spirit is full. And now, the steady, golden flame of your own being illuminates you from within, filling the temple of your body with a gentle, healing warmth. You have prepared the inner sanctuary. You have swept its floors, quieted its halls, and lit the eternal fire on its central altar. And now, having done this sacred work, the healers may enter. The ministers of restoration can begin their silent, holy task. We now surrender to the profound, regenerative magic that is the healing power of deep rest. For most of modern life, we have treated sleep as a mere inconvenience, an unproductive necessity. It is the time when we are forced to stop our striving, our achieving, our doing. For many, it is not a sanctuary at all, but a turbulent landscape where the anxieties of the day continue their assault in the form of restless dreams and a racing mind. We often wake up just as tired as when we went to bed. This is not true rest. This is simply a pause in the battle. But deep rest, the kind of rest your soul is yearning for, is something else entirely. The ancient sages of India had a name for it, Sushupti, the state of deep, dreamless sleep. They did not see it as an absence of consciousness, but as a different, universal state of consciousness, a temporary merging of the individual soul, the drop back into the infinite ocean of the source. It is a nightly pilgrimage home. It is a sacred baptism in the waters of creation, where you are cleansed, recalibrated, and made whole again. And the quality of this healing depends entirely on the state in which you enter the water. Imagine your daytime self, your body, your mind, your personality as a small child who has played hard all day. The child has run and fallen, its clothes are a little torn, its knees are scraped, and it is utterly exhausted from the effort and excitement of its adventures. Now, the night comes, and the Great Mother, call her the universe, the divine feminine, the deep quiet of the cosmos, opens her arms. She does not judge the child for its torn clothes or its scraped knees. She does not ask if the child has been good enough to deserve her embrace. Her nature is simply to hold, to soothe, and to heal. The act of falling asleep, when done consciously, is the act of this tired child willingly, trustingly, climbing into the infinite, loving lap of the Great Mother. As the child sleeps, held in this perfect safety, the mother begins her quiet work. She takes a needle and thread and lovingly mends the small tears in the child's clothes. This is the cellular repair that happens in your physical body, the knitting together of muscle fibers, the strengthening of your immune system. She gently cleans the scrapes on the child's knees and applies a soothing balm. This is the emotional healing that happens when you sleep, the processing of the day's hurts, the calming of your nervous system, and as the child sleeps on, the mother whispers truths and secrets of the universe into its ear, truths that the child's waking mind might not understand, but that its deep soul absorbs completely. This is the subconscious reprogramming, the alignment with a higher wisdom that happens when you release your ego's grip. The child does not need to supervise this healing. It does not need to understand the complex biology or the spiritual mechanics. Its only job is to feel safe enough to let go, to surrender completely to the loving embrace and trust that the healing will happen on its own. All the steps we have taken together tonight have been for this purpose, to allow you, the child, to feel safe enough to truly let go. Because you created a sacred pause, your entry into rest is intentional and not a frantic collapse. Because you released the armor, your body is not tense and fighting itself, and the mother's embrace does not feel threatening. Because you have given voice to the shadows, there are fewer emotional monsters hiding under the bed to create nightmares. Because you have tended to your inner flame, you enter this embrace not as a cold and frightened child, but as one who is already glowing with the warmth of their own self-love, making the mother's healing work that much more powerful. You have prepared yourself beautifully for this holy communion. Let us now sink into this healing embrace. Let the feeling of the warm inner flame be the center of your awareness, and from that center, begin to feel a great letting go. Imagine your bed is not a bed, but a soft, warm cloud, perfectly contoured to your body. Or perhaps it is a sturdy raft, floating on the surface of a perfectly still, warm, dark ocean under a canopy of silent stars. There is no destination. There is only the gentle, rhythmic rocking of the cosmic tide. There is nothing for you to do but to be held. Bring your awareness to the top of your head and feel it become heavy, relaxed, and release all tension into the cloud beneath you. Let this feeling of heavy, warm release flow down into your face, your jaw, your neck. Let your shoulders, now free of their armor, become wonderfully heavy and sink deeply into the support beneath you. Feel this warm, heavy wave of relaxation flow down your arms, into your hands and fingers. You are letting go. Feel your entire torso, your back and your belly, releasing, sinking, becoming one with the cloud, one with the raft. You are safe. You are held. Finally, feel this wave of profound release flow down through your hips, your legs, your knees, all the way to the tips of your toes. Your entire body is now heavy, warm, peaceful, and still. It is a sacred vessel at rest, ready to be healed, ready to be renewed. You are being held in the arms of the Great Mother. You are floating on the ocean of deep consciousness. The warm light of your inner flame illuminates your being from within. The Master Builder has his blueprints. The temple is quiet. All is in order. The work of your conscious self is completely and utterly done for the day. All that is left is the final, beautiful act of release. The final surrender of the witness itself. It is time to let go of the one who is experiencing this peace, the one who has been observing this journey. It is time to dissolve completely into the silent, black, velvety ocean of deep, dreamless rest. It is time to let go into the void. You have arrived at the final threshold. You have walked the sacred path inward, step by loving step. You have prepared the sanctuary of your body and tended to the eternal flame within. You have surrendered your creation to the Master Builder and allowed yourself to be held in the healing arms of the Great Mother. You are now floating in a state of profound peace on the very edge of the great ocean of sleep. All the work is done, all the intentions have been set, and now there is only one act left to perform. It is the final, most beautiful, and most liberating act of all. It is the act of letting go completely, the art of dissolving into the void. The conscious mind, the ego, is terrified of this moment. It hears the word void or nothingness, and it imagines a cold, empty, terrifying abyss. To the ego, which is defined by form, by thoughts, by a story, the void means annihilation. It is the one thing it cannot survive. But we must now, with our deeper wisdom, comfort this frightened part of our mind and teach it the true nature of this sacred darkness. The void is not an empty absence. It is a vibrant fullness. It is not nothingness. It is the state of no-thingness. It is the silent, pregnant stillness from which all things are born. It is the dark, fertile soil in which all seeds must be planted. It is the womb of the cosmos, the silent source, the great mystery. The universe itself was born from such a void. Every creation, every inspiration, every new life begins as a possibility in this boundless, formless potential. To enter this void consciously is not to die. It is to return to the source of all life. It is to dive into the very mind of God. Let us return to our gardener one last time. The wise gardener has done all his work. He has cleared the ground. He has chosen the perfect seed. He has planted it in the rich soil, and he has watered it with faith and love. And now, his work in the garden is finished for the day. He walks away, trusting the process. But let us now turn our attention from the gardener to the seed itself. The seed now lies alone in the complete and total darkness of the earth. It is held in a silent, nourishing embrace. But for the miracle of germination to occur, a profound transformation must take place. The hard outer shell of the seed, the very thing that defines it as a seed, the thing that protects its identity, must crack open. It must soften. It must dissolve and surrender its form, its very seedness, to the surrounding soil. The seed must cease to be a seed in order to become the sprout. It must die as one form of identity to be reborn as a new, more expansive one. You, as you lie on the threshold of sleep, are this seed. The hard outer shell is your ego, your sense of a separate I, with all its memories, plans, and anxieties. All the conscious work you have done tonight has prepared you for this moment of surrender. And now you must allow this shell to soften. You must give it permission to crack open, to dissolve into the deep, dark, fertile soil of your own subconscious mind, the great void of creative potential. The seed in the ground does not strain or struggle to become a tree. It does not worry about the process. It does not know the mechanics of photosynthesis or cellular division. It simply rests in the darkness, trusts the darkness, and allows the unseen, intelligent power of the soil and the water to perform the miracle of transformation. Your task now is the same. It is to cease all doing, all trying, all observing, and to simply trust the darkness, trust the void, trust the magnificent, unseen power that you are about to dissolve into. Let us begin this final, beautiful dissolution. It is a process of letting go, layer by layer. First, let go of your body. You have honored it as a temple, and now you must release it. It is the sacred vessel, but it is not you. Feel your awareness gently detaching from your physical form. Let go of the feeling of having feet, of having hands, of having a face. These are just sensations, and you are the awareness that perceives them. Give the temple back to the earth for the night. Let it sink, let it rest, let it be healed without your supervision. You are not your body. Release it. Now, let go of your mind. You have learned to watch your thoughts as clouds in the sky. You have recognized yourself as the sky. Now, let go of the sky itself. Let go of the role of the watcher or the observer. The lighthouse keeper's shift is over. His work is done. He can descend the winding stairs and rest. There is nothing left to watch, nothing left to witness. Release the very mechanism of thought and observation. Let the mind become a perfectly still, silent lake without even a single ripple. You are not your mind. Release it. Now we come to the very center, the core of the illusion of separation, the subtle, persistent feeling of I. The sense of an I who is lying here, an I who is performing this exercise, an I who is about to fall asleep. This is the seed's hard shell. This is the final fortress of the ego. And even this can be released. Do not fight it. Do not try to annihilate it. That is the way of violence. We will use the way of surrender. Bring your awareness to this subtle sense of I am. Feel it in the center of your being. And now, with infinite love and gentleness, Give this I permission to dissolve. Give it permission to go home. Imagine this tiny precious point of I-ness is a single drop of ink held in a vast globe of clear, pure water. And now, watch as the drop simply releases. It begins to unfurl, to soften, its edges blurring, gently, beautifully, merging with the water around it, until there is no longer a drop and no longer the water, but only a single, unified, faintly colored whole. Imagine you are a single snowflake landing on a warm, loving hand, and you simply melt. You do not cease to exist. You just change your form from a separate, defined crystal back into the universal, formless essence of water. Let go. Let go of your name. Let go of your story. Let go of your past. Let go of your future. Let go of the one who is letting go. Sink now. Sink into the great, quiet and loving emptiness. It is not cold. It is a warm black velvet. It is not empty. It is a silent, humming peace. There are no thoughts here. There are no feelings here. There is no you. There is no me. There is only is. A boundless, peaceful, intelligent isness. You are not falling into an abyss. You are falling back into the arms of your own deepest self. You are dissolving into the heart of God. There is nothing left to do, nothing left to know, nothing left to be. The seed is in the soil. The drop is in the ocean. The I has been released into the all. This state of complete non-interference, of utter and total surrender, is the most powerful catalyst for creation. The old you, the gardener, has stepped away completely, allowing the infinite intelligence of the garden to do its miraculous work, unimpeded. You are asleep to the world of form, but you are more awake than ever in the world of spirit. Rest now in this beautiful, holy nothingness. Rest in the womb of creation. Trust the darkness. Trust the silence. Trust the void. The great work is happening now, in perfect peace. In the deep, silent and fertile void, you have been resting. You, the seed, have been held in the perfect, creative darkness of the earth's embrace. You, the drop, have been dissolved into the limitless peace of the great ocean. The conscious, striving self was released, and in that holy surrender, the true miracles have taken place. The master builder has worked tirelessly through the night, following the blueprint of your highest desire. The gentle mother has soothed your emotional wounds and mended the fabric of your being. And now, after the long and restorative journey through the sacred dark, the first faint stirrings of a new day begin. This is not an end to the magic. This is its culmination. This is the promise of the dawn. Do not think of this as an abrupt awakening. It is not a sudden crash back into reality. It is a slow, graceful, and sacred re-emergence. Imagine the seed lying deep in the soil. After a long period of silent, unseen transformation, a tiny, white shoot, no bigger than a thought, begins to unfurl. It does not strive or struggle. It is simply drawn, magnetically, upward toward a light it cannot yet see. In the same way, your consciousness now begins its gentle journey back toward the world of form. It is a slow gathering, a quiet recollection of self, not from a place of fragmentation, but from a place of profound wholeness. You are not being pulled back into the old world. You are being born into a new one. Feel the very first hint of awareness returning. It is like the first pale gray light on the horizon, long before the sun itself is visible. And into this gentle awareness, your consciousness begins to flow, returning first to the holy place you consecrated last night, the temple of your body. But you are not returning to the same temple you left behind. Its foundations have been strengthened. Its inner chambers have been cleansed. Its altar is glowing with a renewed and steady light. Feel your awareness slowly pour back into your physical form. Notice the simple, miraculous sensation of your own breath, flowing in and out, a gentle tide upon the shores of your being. Notice the warmth of your own skin, the gentle pressure of the blankets, the subtle rhythmic beat of your own heart. Greet each sensation not as a mundane fact, but as a welcome home. It is the formless spirit reacquainting itself with the joy and wonder of form. Each breath, each heartbeat is a confirmation. You have returned from the voyage, and your sacred vessel is here, renewed, awaiting you. You are not the same person who fell asleep. The person who began this journey was carrying the heavy armor of the day, their mind a river of turbulent thoughts, their heart guarded and weary. But that self was lovingly dissolved in the great ocean of the night. The person who is waking now has been recalibrated. You have been tuned to a new frequency. You have been bathed in the healing waters of deep rest. The you that is emerging now is softer, clearer, and more deeply connected to the truth of your own being. You are waking up, not just rested, but reborn. Consider the earth. All through the long night, it rests in darkness, turning silently on its axis. The earth does not worry whether the sun will rise. It does not anxiously strive to make the dawn come sooner. It simply performs its silent, graceful turn, trusting implicitly in the cosmic order. Its turning is its act of faith, and because it turns, the dawn is inevitable. Your journey through this night has been your turning, your surrender, your trust, your willingness to let go into the void. This was your soul turning its face, in the darkness, toward its own inner sun. And now, that sun begins to rise. This new dawn brings with it a new light. It is a light that will illuminate your world differently today. The outer circumstances of your life may appear the same, but you will see them through new eyes, through a lens that has been polished clean. You will hear with new ears, more attuned to the whispers of your intuition than the clamor of your fear. You will feel with a new heart, more open and less armored. This is the promise of the dawn. Not that the world has changed overnight, but that you have. And because you have changed, the world must and will change to reflect you. The bridge you commissioned the master builder to construct has been worked on all night. Today, the first planks of that bridge may be laid at your feet. An idea may arrive in your mind with sudden clarity. An unexpected opportunity may present itself. A conversation may open a new door. Be awake to these possibilities. They are the physical sprouting of the spiritual seed you planted. Before you open your eyes, before you move to begin your day, lie here for a moment in this sacred liminal space between the dream world and the waking world. Let your very first conscious thought be one of pure, simple gratitude. Give thanks for the healing of the night. Give thanks for the safety and the sanctuary of your rest. Give thanks for the body that is breathing, for the heart that is beating, and give thanks for this new, unspoiled day. A blank page upon which a new chapter of your life will be written. Let gratitude be the first color you paint upon the canvas of this morning. Carry the feeling of this entire journey with you as you rise. Carry the peace of the sacred pause. Carry the lightness of having released your armor. Carry the wisdom of the silent observer. Carry the warmth of your own inner flame. Carry the deep, unshakable knowledge of your own worthiness. Let these states be the foundation upon which you build your day. You do not have to leave this sanctity behind when you get out of bed. You can bring the temple with you. You can walk through your day with the quiet confidence of the lighthouse keeper, the surrendered trust of the wise sailor, and the serene joy of one who knows they are an inseparable and beloved part of a grand, intelligent, and benevolent universe. The night is over. The dawn is here. A new reality is waiting. The dawn has broken, not just in the world outside, but within you. The long, sacred journey through the night is complete. You have returned, not to the same shore you left yesterday, but to a new world, born from the womb of your own consciousness. The inner work is done. The seed has been planted. The frequency has been set, and the healing has been received. You have walked the path from surrender to rebirth. The gateway we spoke of, at the very beginning of our journey together, is no longer a mystery. You have learned its secret. You have walked through its hallowed archway and discovered the kingdom that lies beyond. You now understand that sleep is no longer an escape from a tiring world, but a conscious pilgrimage into the creative heart of the universe. Rest is no longer a blank space between days, but a sacred workshop where your reality is renewed. The night is no longer a void to be feared, but a loving darkness to be trusted. You have learned that the most profound changes in your life are not made by force of will, but by the grace of surrender. You do not need to remember every step of this journey. You only need to carry its essence with you. The feeling of peace, the quiet confidence of your own worth, the silent hum of your inner flame. To help you return to this state at any time, hold this simple truth, this final mantra in your heart. It is the key that unlocks the gateway at will. Breathe in and know the power of letting go. I release. Breathe in and open to all that is yours. I receive. Breathe in and rest in the wisdom of the cosmos. I trust. Breathe in and feel the ultimate truth of your being. I am. Carry this with you. Let it be the silent music playing behind the noise of your day. You are the creator of your reality. You are the keeper of the flame. You are a beloved child of the universe, and all of its intelligence, all of its love, and all of its power are with you, always. Now, go forth into this new day, and let your magnificent light shine.